that is. That literally me this entire week trying to understand why things break randomly for no fucking reason. I am back, baby. I am back on Windows. My Rust compiles. My scripts work. My video driver does not randomly crash. I'm also just gonna say this: I have given up on Brave. Here is literally what made me give up on Brave. I have tried watching Boss Man Jack on Kick. It will randomly exit and die. Like the tab will crash for either SIG kill or memory errors. So now I'm on Firefox again, specifically the Molvad browser. And wow, what do you know? Firefox is less shit than it used to be a couple years ago when I gave up on Firefox. And now I've switched from Chromium back to Firefox, and the cycle will continue. And all my scripts, for all my Violent Monkey scripts for Chrome work just fine in Firefox. So now I can watch my Boss Man Jack streams, and then hopefully I can get all my shit working. Everything seems fine. I actually had a little panic attack right before the stream started because I was getting acquainted with all the stuff I'm going to talk about, and one of the last things I was thinking of adding, because Keffels published this at like 11 a.m. his time, I think. No, because he lived in Ireland. But he published it at like an hour before the stream, so I was listening to it at 2x, and I was watching, and he has this horrific. You know, fuck, I'll just show you. I'm not gonna force you to watch this fucking video, but I will show you exactly what I'm talking about. He has this really horrific VTuber setup, where it's just like his shitty little cartoon character in the Wiggler outfit, and it will it's like in the swivel chair, and his idea was that when he's not talking, he'll swivel, like the character will swivel away to face away from the character, and then when he's talking again, it will swivel back, so he'll start bouncing in the chair. So it's supposed to be like when during a live stream, when he's watching like a video, it'll swivel back and forth, so that he's like, I guess it's kind of a neat idea, but in execution, it sucks dick, you know. And I'll show you exactly what I mean.
Reason that I
but I also want to make sure that I show you what made me shit a brick right before stream. So here we go. This is this video, and this is the part where I'm thinking like, oh god, what the fuck is this?
reason that I even said that in the first place was honestly gallows humor. It felt a bit empowering, at least in private, to make edgy jokes like that, while thousands of people speculated about how terrible of a person I am based off of no substantive evidence.
The weird swivel animation, when he stops talking even briefly, the character swivels around, and then when he starts talking, it swivels back, and it's really janky and shit looking. But all that pixelation that you just saw on screen, not me, not my video driver. I was legit so freaked out by this. I sent myself the link on Telegram and pulled out my old laptop and double checked to make sure, okay, this is rendering this way. This is not me. My video card is not dying in real time. This is actually how it rendered and was uploaded to YouTube. Okay, great. But I was like legit freaking out, like, oh my god, my computer's gonna crash midstream again. I already see it dying as I watch YouTube. Yeah, my Alienware laptop that I use for a flashlight too, that one. Yeah, okay, that was my first scare of the day. There's almost nothing to show in this fucking video. Keffels is a drama whore, so he's like, he's so happy that Ethan Klein is paying attention to him, even if it's to call him a pedophile over and over again. He's like, yes, I'm relevant again. In fact, actually, let me bring this back up since I'm already just shitting on Keffels immediately. There's a part where I think it's like immediately into this. Yeah, here we go. He's like, I didn't want to talk about this. I was busy doing other stuff.
You're all aware, this has been quite a chaotic week for me. The situation has taken up a lot more time than I would have liked it to, as I've been trying to dedicate more time to working on my new channel, Scared Awake. While
yeah, I'm so busy with my 1.5 thousand subscriber channel where I talk about the same exact shit that's been talked about a million fucking times by a million other people who do that job way better than I can ever possibly do it. I'm so busy. It's such a drain on my resources to have to take out and deal with high profile internet drama that's the backbone of my career, involving multi-million subscriber channels calling me a pedophile like I've profited off of in the past. Man, it's like, geez, dude, I really didn't want to deal with this. I was really hoping to talk about crop circles or some shit, but I was just forced into a corner to make this 40-minute long video. Funny chat. Cool, excellent, wonderful. Okay, so the news, and to do the news chat, what do we need to do? We need to put the hamster on the screen. There he is. Bam! Wow, things are working today. I feel like I'm doing a kid show when I put the hamster up on the screen. Like, what do we do when we want to talk about the news? That's right, we do a dance and we sing a song and we throw glitter in the air. Look at that. Emojis are working and check. 2 days. Imagine what switching to Windows does. Wow, things just work. Even the emojis work. I noticed that there's no giant text in the chat or script tags trying to do pop-ups on my OBS. Isn't that wonderful? All right. First up on the news, heartwarming, pedophile busted. I have a guy. Please forgive me. I have a couple things from Twitter for the stream. So, because when I see news, like I try to find like the actual source so I can show the source on screen instead of like a fucking tweet. But you know what? A lot of news is just made directly on Zitter now. Please do not yell at me in the comments about how I'm Twitter brained, because I'm showing a couple fucking tabs on Twitter. But this is the clip. Both of these actually. So I'm assuming that he has a full YouTube video out that he's showing, but this guy, okay, so the fat guy that you're seeing here, there's two fat guys. The tall fat guy, who's a little bit buff, or looking buff. He kind of has like a, what do you call it when someone's like kind of fat but also kind of buff at the same time? Like he's bulking. He's currently bulking, chat. It is the winter. He will go otter mode in the summer. I'm sure that's his plan, but right now he's bulking. The other guy is just dough fat. So the guy that's big in the blue shirt and currently bulking, he is the pedophile hunter. And he basically, like, I guess he just talks to pedophiles and they open up and like, hey, yeah, these are the terrible things that I do. And then he calls the cops on them and visits them in person once he doxes them. So what happened there is that he talked to this guy on Discord or some shit. I'm assuming Discord because he's a pedophile. And got him to confess to nasty shit. Threatens to talk to his wife and his kid about the things he's been doing. And so to avoid confronting his own wife about the things he's been doing to their daughter, he decides he'd rather confess openly to being a child molester to the police. Let's take a gander, chat.
I don't understand how as a father you are comfortable.
Sorry, let me cut this back down to 1x so people listening at 2x, as is often the case, can hear what's being said.
With sexualizing your own daughter, some random pedophile online. I'm going to tell you, man, I'm not from anywhere near this area, and I came all the way here to talk to you about this. So the least you can do is just be honest with me, okay?
He's actually really good at doing the police interrogation thing, where it's like he comes across as very non-threatening. Like, I just want to talk. I want to see what's going on. And it, you know, like it's kind of creating this false sense, like, oh, if you just confess to all the terrible shit that I already know is true, I'll just leave. And it works. It works on this guy at least, who's apparently a fucking retard. Because most pedophiles are retards. But yeah, he's got some tactics. He knows what he's doing.
You know there's nudes of your daughter on your phone.
There's not.
Yes, there is. We were able to see every single one of your photos already.
Well, I have a problem then, because that phone is at my store.
Okay, so that has nudes of your daughter?
It has a couple, yes.
Okay.
And I will delete those.
When did you take those nudes of your daughter?
A while ago.
What was she doing in those pics?
Just like this.
Okay, were you able to see her private parts?
Just her top.
What about her butt?
Yes, I have some of her butt and underwear.
Okay, were those meant to be for sexual arousement?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you touch her?
No.
Here's what's gonna happen now, okay? And I'm prepared to go to her school and go talk to her right now. I'm prepared to go ask her everything.
Please don't.
Okay, I wanna hear it from you. Was it maybe just over the clothes, rubbing of the vagina?
It was over the clothes.
You rubbed her vagina over the clothes?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Listen to me. You're gonna be as honest as possible.
That's also, see, as a feminist, I now watch true crime shows, and I know that's part of the read technique when they say like, okay, well, you're saying this, but I know that's not true, and then it gives them an out. Like, was it over the clothes? Was it like non-penetrative? And then like to not confess to the worst thing. He says, yeah, that's true. So that's like an out, so that the pressure can be released without actually saying like everything that he's done.
With that guy, whatever you.
Serious?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you gotta go talk to the police, and that's like the end of this is a teaser. This is kind of where it continues, and I will play this.
I can't lose my daughter. But all I can say is.
Sorry, let me put this back down to 1x.
That just be as honest as possible with him, okay?
I'm a good person.
I know you are. I know you are. That doesn't mean this can't get taken care of, okay? It's going to be taken care of.
My wife.
So that's really hard for people to do. Like this guy who's a child molester who's offended against his own daughter is telling him, like, I'm a good person. And I think it's very instinctual for most people to just want to like yell and like scream at him, maybe punch him or choke him or something. But if you're trying to like coax him into confessing to what he's done so that the process is as quickly and painlessly as possible, this is the correct way to do it. So don't like I've unfortunately I've seen it where when someone handles something correctly like this, people be like, why is he saying that this pedophile is a good person? Is he stupid? And then they like harass him, and it's like, no, he's doing the correct thing to elicit a confession.
He's probably freaking out right now.
I know.
Okay. Look, I'm sorry. Okay. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to lose my daughter, please.
Okay.
I will delete the pictures. I will delete everything. Like I said, I don't get joy out of it at all.
I know. Hey, Seuss, can you tell him I want to do the thing?
Will you be there with me?
Yes.
Please. I don't.
That right there, I want to replay that because that's a crazy interaction. Like this guy is in the process of ruining his entire life and destroying him and breaking him down, and he's done such a good job at building rapport with him. He's like, can you please be here with me when I confess to being a child molester? And he's like, there's like a pause where he's like emotionally processing this request, and he's like, yeah, sure, I guess.
Yes.
Please. I don't.
That's really intense. That's like a real interaction. Like that's not like scripted or something. It's like this guy's actually saying that to him, and he has to figure out what the fuck you say in response to that.
I want to go to jail.
I got you.
I'm sorry.
I got you. So basically, officer.
Okay.
So you have some nudes of your daughter that you got to delete, right, on your phone?
What's going on, Kevin?
Nude pictures of your daughter, who's like 7 years old, right?
Well, let him tell me. Okay.
I took some pictures of my daughter,
Okay.
and they were of her topless and underwear. Okay. But I'm willing to delete them.
Okay.
Tell her about the times you touched her.
I guess I've watched her a couple times.
Okay, so stop there. Okay.
This is also a great interaction. This guy, he's an older man, so he's been on the force for a long time. He's seen everything. And now he has this guy confessing to him on the street about being a pedophile. And he's like, okay, wait a second. I have to read you your rights.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you before any question. Do you understand these rights?
Yes.
Okay. Do you wish to continue to talk to me? Because what you're telling me is a crime.
Crazy. Language a child can understand. You are about to confess to something that's going to ruin your entire fucking life. Are you sure? Sure you want to do this? And it's like, yes, I'm sure. That's professional. That's how you do it. Anyways, this is Alex Rosen at I Fight for Kids. Be aware that when it comes to these pedophile hunter people, they're usually a little bit crazy. So I've only seen this video from him. Good work. However, if this guy does something truly fucking crazy and unhinged, I have not endorsed him. I don't know him. I've never interacted with him. I hope that he stays sane. Okay. Next. This was also a thing I could not find the source of. I think it was clipped out of something from the Tucker Carlson News Network, which is his own thing now after he got let go from Fox News for being too besaid. But he decides to go through a Russian
I went from
supermarket.
amused to legitimately angry. So we were guessing what this would cost. Everybody hears from the United States buys groceries, and we didn't pay any attention to costs as we were just putting in the cart what we would actually eat over a week. And we all came in around $400, about $400. It was $104 US here. And that's when you start to realize that ideology maybe doesn't matter as much as you thought, corruption. If you take people's standard of living and you tank it through filth and crime and inflation, and they literally can't buy the groceries they want, at that point, maybe it matters less what you say or whether you're a good person or a bad person. You're wrecking people's lives in their country, and that's what our leaders have done to us. And coming to a Russian grocery store, the heart of evil, and seeing what things cost and how people live, it will radicalize you against our leaders. That's how I feel anyway, radicalized.
Tucker Carlson had his Yeltsin moment. I think it was Yeltsin, because it was in the late 90s. It was I think it was under Ronald Reagan, where I'm pretty sure it was Boris Yeltsin that went to the United States, and they gave him a tour of a supermarket, and he looked around and said if the Soviet people saw what the Americans had access to, there would be revolution. And it was a turning point in Soviet philosophy, and it basically led to was one of the things. There's many compounding causes to why the Soviet Union broke up, but Boris Yeltsin and his Gorbachev both liberalized the Soviet Union towards capitalism, in part because they were falling behind so much that the economy had stagnated. But then they went to the U.S. and they saw things and they're like, wow, things aren't so bad abroad. And I think people are gonna give me shit for this, but hear me out. You're listening to my podcast. Hopefully you don't think I'm a total fucking retard. And sorry, I'm fucking with my microphone because I feel like I'm quiet. Am I quiet? Am I quiet? But when you go to a foreign country in Europe, even ones that are getting shittier, and you see how nice things are, like Serbia is a poor country. You can still take the bus. The buses are old. The buses are like Soviet era. There's shit's like, they're obviously very dilapidated and it's crowded, but it's not violent. You know what I mean? You're never at unease on the bus. You can take a train in Ukraine. You never feel at unease, even if it's an old, probably a Soviet era train that's running on the tracks. The Moscow, I've never been to Moscow, but the Moscow train station is famous for being basically a museum. It's like a Michelangelo painting, in a subway station. And you think, how is that possible? Because in the United States, it doesn't matter if it was 500-year-old art, it would be painted over and tagged and ruined. And that's very radicalizing. It is genuinely radicalizing. And people give me shit for this, but you go to the grocery store, you buy groceries, and some of the stuff, some things in particular, are a higher quality of grocery for a quarter of the price than what you get in the United States. And it's angering. And from what I understand, things are even worse than they were when I left. I've looked at, because I'm looking at the U.S. and I'm budgeting and I'm going to cost of living things, and it's just like 400% more for groceries. It's like 10 times as much to eat out. So I'm looking at that and budgeting. It's like, even though I make more money than I ever have, I'm looking at this, I'm thinking like, how the fuck am I going to afford this bullshit? Because it's so expensive now. So yeah, people are making fun of them because it's true. There is income disparity in Russia and Ukraine and Serbia. The poorest people in those countries are much poorer than the poorest people in the United States. And that is not because of the success of the American system. If you look at our federal budget, it's like, I think literally half. So every 50 cents of every dollar that you send the IRS or get taxed federally goes to either HUD, which is housing credits, or EBT, which is a part of HUD, or Medicare and Medicaid. And everybody else, and those are programs literally just to give black people and illegal immigrants free shit, free phones, free housing, free medical coverage, free food. And now that food can be used for restaurants, and that food can be paid for. Like, everything goes on EBT now. There used to be a remember there's Lose Yourself by Eminem, and in that line it says, man, these goddamn food stamps don't buy diapers. Well, I'm pretty sure EBT buys diapers now. I could be wrong. Maybe it's only state by state, but I'm pretty sure food stamps buy diapers now. And these are only programs for the poorest people. So the poorest people, the illegal immigrants, because you cannot be discriminated against by your immigration status, have access to all the things that middle-class Americans who actually pay taxes cannot have access to. And what you see in Russia, the reason why when you go to Russia and Serbia and Ukraine and you see groceries for basically fucking nothing, they don't have these programs. Actually, it's not even true. Russia does have socialized healthcare. It's not the best. It's not like the most Gucci shit on the planet. But you do have access to some medical care in Russia because they kept their socialized medicine from the Soviet Union era. But then people, food stamps by DoorDash, yeah. So, I mean, why do you think restaurant costs are way up in the U.S.? Because people are receiving government credit, and then they can spend that however they want, and the things that they're buying go up in cost because they're subsidized by the government. And then normal people who want to order out can't afford it because they don't get subsidies to buy restaurant food with. That's why they go up. Yeah, it's completely fucked. And all you have to do, literally, all you have to do is go outside the country for a couple years and you're like, oh my God, like things are actually fucked. And when you understand how our medical care system came to be as like a series of compromises to avoid, they call it the two Santas. Basically, the Republicans give tax cuts and the Democrats give free shit. And then they never like actually go back and change each other's policies because that would be very unpopular. The result is you have a completely broken system. But I mean, the purpose of a system is what it does, and what the system does is it destroys the middle class and creates a disparity between the ultra rich, who are allowed to be ultra rich because they're in line with what the government wants and what mega corporations want, and then you have everybody else who can't do shit and rely on the government to eat. That's it. That's what it does. Why is the system built in such a crazy way? Because the purpose of the system is what it does. And what it does is it makes people poorer and makes the rich richer. And that's actually the goal. And the nanosecond you leave the United States, and the nanosecond you look at any other country, be it Russia or Australia or Serbia or Germany or the Netherlands or whatever the fuck, you'll see that in most of these countries, they have a system that is saner than the United States. Even if you don't agree with it in any other context. No, I do not listen to. I don't listen to any other podcasts. Believe it or not, if you look at the same set of facts, if you go to these foreign countries and you experience living there, you will come to the same conclusions without listening to each other. Tucker Carlson goes to Russia for a fucking weekend, and he's like, "Oh my God, my dollar goes so much further here because it's not subsidized by fucking EBT." Anybody who has these experiences will come to the exact same conclusion. Yeah, Australia has single payer, I'm pretty sure. I'm telling you, dude, every other country has figured this out. And the reason, and people say the United States can't afford global healthcare. Yes, it can. The reason why it can't is that we do something that no other country with social healthcare does. We do not set fixed prices. $75 an aspirin, $150 for a fucking plastic tube. They charge whatever they want to charge, and then they bill the government for it, and the government asks no questions. Why is it like that? Because we don't have fixed price limits, and the government never questions a bill. Every other country on the planet has different rules in this. If you go to a social hospital in any country, the government sets the prices on medical stuff, so they are not bankrupted by the system. It would be trivial for the U.S. based on its massive budget. We still pay more per capita for healthcare than any other country in the world, and that's because we do not set price limits. They're bought and sold. It's deliberately broken. It's deliberately broken, and I'm convinced that what they're trying to do now is liquidate the country, like with Disney. Why does Disney do things that don't benefit its bottom line? Because they are taking existing properties, they're putting no effort into it, no money into it, no thought into it. They're trying to squeeze as much capital as they can out of it. They're taking it out of the company and out of the country to banks in Israel, and they want to leave the United States completely and totally destitute, utterly broken, filled with people that hate the fucking country, that are only there for economic reasons, so that it can never ever become a global superpower again. That's why it exists. And that's what you get when you go to Russia and eat fine cheeses that you cannot find in the United States. Speaking of Russia, even though it has great healthcare, it also executes people that it doesn't like. This is very controversial for some reason. Navalny was a well-known Democratic ideologue in Russia. He was a challenge to Putin. He wanted to expose corruption with the oligarchs, so on and so forth. Unsurprisingly, he was arrested, and he has now died in jail. I have called him a CIA asset because he obviously is one. And people took issue with this. Like, do you honestly think that this guy is not being bankrolled by the U.S. federal government to cause problems? Are you retarded? I don't need evidence for this. Look at what he is. Treason, by the way, has always been a capital punishment, so I don't know why people are surprised that he's dead. Anyways. Oh, this was in reply to a tweet about this. It said, Gonzalo Lira also died in prison, and Siegel posted this wonderful picture. To memorialize Gonzalo Lira, a political prisoner. Obviously, his point was that Ukraine also kills its political opposition in the prisons, and yet we don't raise any issue about this. Here we have Gonzalo Lira at his peak, a happy man in stride with good company in the United States, enjoying his American freedoms. Taken before his time, chat. Taken before his time. And this is just me dabbing. This is just me hitting the dab. Talia, which is a tier 1 ISP, has parted ways with Path. If you don't remember, Path was the first ISP to drop the Kiwi Farms way back when we were hosted in Nevada. Our DDoS mitigator was Path, which I did not know at the time, but Path employs Corey Barnhill, the pedophile known as Zoom and IBS, as their chief operating officer. And when Corey heard that the Kiwi Farms was using Path for DDoS mitigation, they blocked our ASN, so we did not have DDoS protection, which caused a lot of downtime for the Kiwi Farms. They loudly and proudly, during Drop Kiwi Farms, went onto Twitter to advertise themselves to say that they were actually the first ISP, even a year before Zayo, to drop the Kiwi Farms. They're very happy about this. Well, now they have been dropped by Talia because they haven't paid a single bill. Path is going bankrupt at all of its locations. They're not paying data centers. They're not paying ISPs. They're paying nobody. And so they're being kicked out. They're being evicted. And I think they have one existing connection right now, and that's Equinix. And the nanosecond that they stop paying Equinix, they will be kicked out. So this is actually a bigger... Oh, and they're being sued, by the way, for non-payment in Canada, I'm pretty sure. Actually, this might be in the United States. Yeah, this is in Arizona. They're being sued in the United States, but they are being sued by a Canadian company because Path is in Nevada. So this is actually a bigger deal than it may look because Rumble uses Path for DDoS mitigation. I have repeatedly tried to contact the Rumble development team and the Rumble head of product on Twitter and via email. I have never gotten a reply. I have told them it is an urgent danger, crucial danger situation that they are using a bankrupt company ran by skids and pedophiles to handle their DDoS mitigation, because they not only use them for application layer DDoS mitigation, they use them for man-in-the-middle layer 7 mitigation, which means that when they're being attacked, they switch the routes over through Path. Path has computers that actually terminate the SSL, read the raw data being passed through the server, and then act on that data to determine if it is a DDoS attack request or if it is a legitimate request. That means that when an attack is happening and they are using Path, every single thing sent and received to the Rumble servers are being read by a company of known black hat hackers and a pedophile that is currently insolvent. I have repeatedly told them this is a fucking liability, and they do not respond. They do not fucking respond. It is like, I don't know how many more warning signs. Insolvent, kicked out for non-payment, kicked out of a data center for non-payment, being sued for non-payment, ran by fucking retards. In fact, I want to say that in this, it is Augustus Hart. That's fucking Zoom. That's his fake new name as of 2020 was August Hart, because that's the name of the comic book character Zoom. If I remember correctly, August Hart was the guy who plays Godspeed in the fucking comic books or some shit, and he changed his name to that. And he's listed under perjury as the COO of this company. Drop them. If you are listening to this, I'm broadcasting on Rumble. How many people are listening on fucking Rumble? 2,000 people. One of you has to have somebody's fucking ear. Urgent, alarm, imminent fucking danger to your business. You're letting these people man in the middle your fucking connection. Urgent, crucial, urgency, imminent fucking disaster on the horizon. Please figure something out. Terrain, pull up. God, there was something else. Oh, Cogent. So Cogent likes to pretend it's a tier 1 company. What is a tier 1 company? A tier 1 ISP is a ISP that has free cross connect with every other tier 1 ISP. So that means that when an ISP can exchange data with any other ISP that exchanges data with any other ISP that's considered a tier 1 ISP. It's kind of like a circular definition. Then it's a tier 1 ISP. Just is that these tier 1 ISPs, if they want to retain the title of tier 1 ISP, must maintain a political connection to these other ISPs, stay in good standing, pay their fucking bills, and don't have traffic issues that result in them being disappeared, because if they lose access to one of these tier 1 ISPs, they're no longer a tier 1 ISP. Cogent isn't technically a tier 1 ISP because they don't have cross connect with Hurricane Electric. In a long-standing feud that has escalated recently because Cogent actually refuses to connect to Hurricane Electric at all. So if you have a situation where computer A wants to connect to computer B, and it's merely and both of them, one of them uses only Cogent and one of them uses only Hurricane Electric, and it's an IPv6 connection, they actually will not connect at all. So there is a thing where you have two internets basically in the IPv6 space, and that's because Cogent can't, and Hurricane Electric has begged Cogent to stop being so fucking retarded, but they refuse. So Cogent, terrible company, deserves to be destroyed, ran by a retard who deliberately misleads his own investors by saying that he promotes net neutrality while being not net neutrality himself and personally involved in censoring companies and websites. They've lost cross connect with who did they lose cross connect with? Sorry, I'm on a tear right now. I've lost it. Let's scroll up. Did I retweet? I did retweet this. Let me check my Twitter. Sorry. I want to say Talia again, but I don't know if that's accurate. Sorry, I want to get this right because I'm laughing at them. Oh, I tweeted on the Kiwi Farms one. That's why. I know it's not important to any of you, but it's important to me. NTT. How did I forget that? NTT Europe de-peered Cogent. That's a huge loss. NTT is a big company. That's really big. They're huge. Jeez. Okay, yeah, they're definitely not a tier 1 now. If they don't have cross connect with NTT, that's a big ass company. So there you go. All these bad people. All these bad people I don't like are suffering. Isn't that amazing? I gotta keep my head is huge. You ever see that meme where it's like the guy has like the big head because he's been working out in the library? That's literally me right now. I need to rein that shit in before I start getting too full of myself. Very embarrassing. Yes, Bossman Jack is live. If you were waiting for him to go live, you can watch him now. So someone sent me this on Twitter and was like, "Hey Josh, talk about this." And I looked at it and it was like, "Hands off my rewards. Don't breach my credit card." Cyber attacks against consumers are on the rise, with mega stores like Target falling victim to breaches that expose customer information to the worst actors on the dark web. Now, mega stores like Walmart and Target want to leave you even more vulnerable to credit card cyber attacks so they can pocket billions of dollars in additional profits. Don't let them get away with it. You can play an important role in standing up against special interests in Washington to protect your valuable credit card data that will be easier to steal if new credit card routing legislation is passed. Tell Congress to protect your data, not the profits of greedy megastores. I'm thinking, what the fuck is this? And then I looked it up. This guy Dick Durbin, who I believe is a Democrat, he is in Illinois, so most corrupt state in the U.S. That's interesting. He wants to pass legislation that injects competition into the MasterCard Visa card duopoly. So this thing right here is owned by like MasterCard and Visa card, and they're saying like you need to tell Congress only MasterCard and Visa card have the tools required to process your data. Don't protect the profits of greedy megastores. Hear that? Don't you protect Target and Walmart to create Target card and Walmart card because they are big evil businesses. Instead, allow Visa and MasterCard, trillion-dollar businesses that process 83% of all global commerce, to protect your data. Protect our profits instead, you fucking retard. That's interesting. So apparently all eyes are coming on the credit cards. We will break them down, chat. Inshallah, we shall see a day where MasterCard and Visa card are scattered to the fucking wind where they belong. Why are the viewers on Kick not showing up? Kick is just the most functional platform. It's the most wonderful functional platform. Okay, great. Okay, now they show up. Cool. This is a small side note, but after the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl, they did a little parade. They said, "Woo, we win. We win again, baby. Cha-ching." Just as planned, just as Papa Joe Biden planned. A melanated individual took issue with this, fired. There were many injured. One was like a 5-year-old boy. However, he was heroically tackled by a bystander, a white man in the audience, and subdued, I think, before more damage was being done. He was black, by the way. Oh, this is the wrong thing. I was going to show you this, though. But, I did this wrong. I was supposed to say, guess the race, then play this song. Who shot up the Kansas City Super Bowl parade, chat? Was it a white man? Was it a Mexican? Or was it a black man? And the answer is a black man. If you guessed a black man shooter, you're right. Okay, let me show you the rat penis. Everyone's distracted by this. So this is a publication. Let's see. Let me make sure I get this right. What is the title of this publication? Cellular functions of spermatogonial stem cells in relation to JAK-STAT signaling pathway by Shiyong Guo, Liang Dong, Ding Zhou Hua. And they have decided to say to use AI to assist them in their diagrams of what they're talking about. Now, you may be confused at what the fuck this depicts, and the reason why you are confused is that this is nonsense. This is obviously not anatomically correct. Last I checked, rats do not have giant dingle-dongles full of balls like this, and a huge umbilical cord that stretches into the fucking space. But this is a peer-reviewed journal in academics, and it was accepted for some reason. I do enjoy how in this petri dish of stem cells, the thing that they like, the utensil that the AI drew is like a spoon. It's like a little baby spoon. Like, do you want whatever the fuck? Do you want a nice? Start your morning right with Kellogg's stem cells, and then like just scooping up all these weird eyeball looking things to eat them up. So if you're wondering, Josh, or gosh, rather, not even to me, but like, you know, we have this replication crisis in academics, and there's a competency crisis as well. People are studying things that they don't understand. They're citing things that they haven't read, and they just don't seem interested in the underlying machinations that make our society work, or the bulk of information that we rely on. We're going to start forgetting things as time goes on. How could things get even worse? The answer: we're going to rely on foreign people to use AI to generate things that are nonsensical, and then study those and come to scientific medical conclusions based on diagrams that were invented out of thin fucking air by a machine that has no concept of what a rat is, besides the fact that they know pictures of a rat. This is the future you chose. Embrace what is it? It's not neo-feudalism, neo-agrarianism, neo-scavengers. Return to monkey is what I'm trying to say here. All right. I do have to pee. Can I queue up a video so I can pee? That's only 30 seconds. I could subject you to more keffels. Yeah, let's do that. Hold up here. I'm gonna go to this part right here and subject you to keffels. Suffer. It's just a montage reel of everything stupid Vaush says while Keffels tries to defend it. Okay, suffer chat, beer back.
Fiasco, the things I have actually been upset about were simply ignored, and I want to lay out my arguments, as well as address some of the accusations made against me, both by Ethan Klein and ContraPoints. What I'm upset about in this situation more than anything is Ethan presenting his audience clips from Vaush's streams that deliberately cut out very important context. For instance, this is a clip that Ethan Klein played on his show to prove that Vaush is a pedophile.
Here's
Funny pot in our own chat.
It's funny because people go, "Oh, he's taken out of context," but listen what he says.
Consistent. Yes, 100%. Listen very carefully to the exact language that I use.
Listen very carefully as I express myself articulately and clearly as I possibly can.
I've yet to hear a convincing moral or legal argument as to why possession of child pornography should be illegal.
That was pretty bad, right? Here's what was said immediately after that clip was played, which was not shown on Ethan's stream.
File porn, like drawn stuff, it should be 100% legal. In fact, and this is going to be a real hot take, I have yet to hear a convincing moral or legal argument as to why possession of child pornography should be illegal. Actual child pornography. How's that for a hot fucking take? Now, to clarify on this take, as I feel it necessary to do so, we do not, in this country, typically criminalize people who have procured media or resources which were the product of abuse. It is not illegal to own necklaces that have slave diamonds or whatever. What are they called? Yeah, blood diamonds. Yeah, all of our clothes produced by sweatshops, our computers, the silicon and lithium mined from literal fucking slaves. In our society, we have already deemed that people are not responsible for the mechanisms by which the media they consume and the content they engage with are produced. No. Right now. You like that argument? Ooh, you like that? You like that moral culpability? You're all worse than fucking CP owners, and I am too. Do you like that? No ethical consumption under capitalism. Shit sucks, right? But if we accept that argument for slave labor, then we definitely have to accept it for child pornography. None of it is, yeah, I agree, none of it is ethical, but we've already made this social decision that people are not responsible for the systems by which the stuff they own is produced. We've already made that decision. You're right, but you're kind of revealing your power level. No, this is exactly what I fucking mean. I'm right, but I'm revealing my fucking pedo power level because I—
Don't you love this? There's another one. I'll actually let this play out, and I'll skip back and forth. I'll let this play out, and then I'll talk about it a little bit, and I'll go back to the news stuff. Don't you just love how it's like, Keffels like, but they forgot to add the context immediately after the Ethan Klein clip. Vaush then says more dipshit things about child pornography, and then he plays it in full, and it's like, well, this hasn't really changed my opinion, Queen Kafals.
I'm right? No, this is a moral inconsistency in society. The answer should be that all of these things are bad.
This was a common occurrence throughout all of Ethan Klein's coverage of Vaush. Here's the most heinous time that it occurred.
Please, right now, uncuck your dumb shit, libcuck fucking
This is the most heinous time. By the way, this is the dumbest shit he says. So this is supposed to be vindicating. Just keep that in mind.
JW brains, and recognize this empirically correct fact that I am about.
Once again, he sets it up in the clearest terms possible. Clear your ears out, everybody. Sit down and listen to every word, which I mean with my whole body and soul.
Spit. It is possible for an adult and a child to have a sexual relationship and for it to have positive outcomes on the child as well.
That's game. I don't know how he survived that one.
What?
I don't know how he survived that one.
Once again, absolutely horrendous, right? Absolutely no way this could be justified, correct? Now I'll show you the full clip with the context from before and after the clip was played, which Ethan Klein did not show his audience.
Are you ready? You're about to be fucking epically owned. Once this context drops, your jaw is gonna drop. Your jaw's gonna hit the fucking floor. You're gonna think, oh my god, I've been mean to Vaush this entire time when he was so in the right. Let's take a listen, chat.
You guys misunderstood.
By the way,
I just think that
read the chat and see the people listening to this fucking retard and realize that they're actually listening to this and thinking like, he's making a couple salient points here. Like, those people actually exist that can listen to this and believe it.
This is very dumb for you to misunderstand this point. It's not like you guys misunderstood. It's just like, this is embarrassing. Okay, look, this is super duper simple, okay? A utilitarianism, act utilitarianism, is about considering the consequences of a specific action, okay? It is possible, please right now, uncuck your dumb shit libcuck fucking SJW brains and recognize this empirically correct fact that I am about to spit. It is possible for an adult and a child to have a sexual relationship and for it to have positive outcomes on the child as well. That is possible. However, categorically, we discourage those relationships because, as a rule, it is substantially more likely that enabling them would cause harm in society. That's the difference between act and rule utilitarianism. An act utilitarian would say, oh, this is an instance where it was good for the adult and the minor to have sex. That would make it a good action. But the rule utilitarian, which is what I am, would say, even though that individual outcome was good, the act was still bad because, in general, in a broader application, for adults and children to have sex with one another leads to horribly destructive outcomes. For that reason, it is an unethical act. So on the off chance it might help someone, we just allow everyone to engage in a generally destructive practice. Except that's the literal exact opposite of what I am saying. Do you have fucking brainworms? By Fairy79, I literally made the opposite of that point. I literally just explained the opposite of what you just said. That no, just because on the off chance it might help someone, we shouldn't categorically support one action because I am a rule utilitarian.
Another thing that really bothered me.
So that clip obviously just makes Vaush look like a fucking creepy weirdo. Like, regardless of literally anything else. Like, yeah, that's fucking weird. I'm sorry, bro. That's weird. I know you're trying to do your epic ownage thing and show everybody how right you are, but that's just fucking weird. Sorry, not sorry. Is that right? Is that no? That's Squish. Hold up. I'm fucking with something right now, Chad. It's a bad idea, but wait. So yeah, that obviously did not make things look any better than the previous assumption. So I really just don't understand the defense. I don't understand, like, why would you risk it all for Vaush? And I guess he just assumes that Vaush will defend him. However, now I am forced. Give me 1 second. I'm actively in the process of fucking up my OBS layout, so this requires a little bit of work. Best. Okay, gotcha. I get to scale again. There was a response to this. Okay. So I'm sorry, Hamster. Listen, I've completely fucked up the order of things. You got to go. We're in the proper lolcow segment right now. I'm gonna hide this, transition this back, go to my LibreWolf. I'm going to find the tab that had the thing that I was going to talk about. The thing I was going to talk about is actually Peter Coffin. It's a very familiar name if you remember Gamergate, because Peter Coffin allegedly was fucking a blow-up doll, and then he had a baby, and then someone Google image searched that baby, and Google Images thought it was a toilet, and then someone in Cal said even Google thinks your baby is a toilet nigga. So the baby was affectionately named Toilet Nigga moving forward by everybody. And then at some point he found like a prostitute to like live with him that looked kind of sort of like the woman that he alleged that he had been married to that no evidence existed of. It was a very long, detailed conspiracy if Peter Coffin was actually married or not before the Ashley that was supposed to be the Ashley he's always been with came on camera. But then even then, a lot of people were not convinced that that was actually the real Ashley. Anyways, my point is that he's a retard. Oh God! Also, he made a song that I'm going to share with you. You may or may not remember this song. And it's actually been so long that you may have never heard this song. But you know what? We're gonna just take a little look-see at this. A little look-see down memory lane, chat. This is old school tunes. Old school tunes, chat.
I'm a beta, and we're both beta as fuck. If you're looking for an alpha male here, then you're shit out of luck. Domination and total power, these are not things we crave. Our self-worth is not contingent on how many women we've laid. We know that we are real men, even though our man card's null and void. Don't need MRAs to tell us so, and if they did, we'd be annoyed.
Here's the guy that's wearing the shirt. Has he already done the really embarrassing dance where he's just like shuffling? I think this is the part. Watch him dance. Oh yeah, look at that dance. That's some Rebecca Black Friday shit going on there. Bum, 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 bum. Excellent. Anyways, I bring him up because he's involved in this. He actually did a heckin' real journalism chat. Peter Cofferoni did a real journalism, and he brought up something, two things even, that I hadn't thought about. One of them was that Vaush owns this thing called White Forest, and Keffel uses this. White Forest is a hosting service. It's a managed hosting service, which is a little bit different than like a regular traditional VPS service. It means that he actually does work on your servers. He has access to it. He sets things up. He manages it for you. And those are more expensive because they involve other people helping you. But he runs this hosting service that a bunch of bread tubers use. So Peter Coffin, who is a Marxist-Leninist, according to his bio, says, in case you wonder why these streamers defend Voosh or just don't talk about them, it's because somewhere in this weird hosting shit, he either holds actual power over them or there's just enough going on for there to be a perception of it. So he is, as it says here directly on their About Us page, that Vaush is involved. So Vaush sets up a hosting business specifically for bread tubers. He controls all their internet presence bullshit. Like, it's based off of, from what I understand, it's software that Destiny originally wrote, and then Vaush just took the source code, cloned it, and then made it like a thing that he sets up. So if you ever go to, like, I think if I can do this on live and just show you, you go to Destiny's website, and then, okay, it looks like this, and I think there's this thing that says big screen. Yeah, right. And it looks like this, and then I think if I go to keffels.gg, it should be the exact same kind of site. Could be. Yeah, okay, so it looks a little bit different, but then there is the stream. I do not want to allow things. Yeah, and you can see it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of like the big screen thing going on. So that's because Vaush took the open source code for this and then ported it into a hosting service that he runs called White Forest. And now a bunch of bread tubers rely on him for the big screen thing because they all multicast, and they, like, you see how much of a pain in the ass for me to set up my own multicasting. Well, you think someone like Keffels can manage that by himself? No. So he relies on Vaush to do it. And so all these streamers rely on Vaush for their internet presence, and then when he's having a big pedo scandal, they can't say shit because Vaush got him by the balls. All he has to do is crush his hands, close his fist, and suddenly Keffel's ravioli is smashed out into linguine, if you know what I'm talking about, chat. So that there's a conflict of interest there, and they can't talk about it. And Peter Coffin is completely right to point out this conflict of interest because of how it's playing out. The other thing he pointed out was that there was a tranny that was involved in oh, I'm going to totally misremember this. I think hopefully it's in the comments. Oh, I can't see the comments on this. Let me check this out on my thing, because there was a tranny that had already been treated this way, and I need to double check this. Oh, a tranny ran a Mastodon instance on Vaush's service, and when he said something that Vaush didn't like, Vaush literally just shut off his Mastodon instance. So like that, boom, Vaush Thanos snaps, as a Darkside Phil said. His Mastodon instance, just boom, it's gone. And all those people on it, boom, they're gone. Your domain name, that might also be gone if you used him. So good luck, retard. Now you know why a lot of people are gathering ranks. Why do I have it? What is this? My least favorite thing about Windows is that on Arch you can see what tabs are making noises, and on when it Windows, you cannot. Oh, I see what it is. It's my terminal. There's a alert. Okay, sorry. Let me just mute that here real quick. Yeah, buddy. We're back to hearing Windows sound effects. Like the old days. Like the old days, chat. Me yelling at my Thunderbird for getting an email. All right. So that's the Keffels Vouch update, I guess. Peter Coffin doing some heckin' journalism out there. I literally didn't even know this. I had no idea that Vouch ran his hosting service and was kicking off trannies for talking shit about him. Now a lot of stuff makes sense, don't it? What a clever boy that Vouch is. He sees the means of production, chat. It's a proletariat dictatorship out there, chat. All right, let's swing back to the news. And I think for this, actually, I'm going to need a different hamster. Let's find her. I'm back on Windows. Oh, I do. Oh, please tell me I put the hand. Oh, I did. Aha! And resize. Professional. I need to make a song. Professional live streamer Joshua Connor Moon tries to set up his OBS in the middle of a stream again. Our content and welcome to No Pussy, No Work. I saw I had a message. Let me double check. Aha, he did respond. I sent this to the incels.is guy, who I never talk to usually, but I asked him, "Is this satire?" So this might be satire, fair warning, but it made me laugh, so I'm sharing it. No Pussy, No Work is a involuntary celibate movement advocating for exiting the workforce until pussy is gained. It says here, do you get no pussy, no GF, no wife? Are you lonely, in despair? Many millions of men exactly like you are out there. And then there is a very beautiful gallery of, I believe, AI-generated images of young men in various states of despair. Especially this guy. This guy's having a real fucking bad day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful sunset, and he can't even bear to look at it. The light disgusts him. It's blinding. So he says, the problem is not you. The rise of loneliness and sexlessness in men is a global phenomenon and not a coincidence at all. Over the world, there are widespread systemic sexual oppression and exclusion of men. Systemic sexual oppression is a form of violence. This is definitely parody. Or keeps people of manliness. Bro, this is excellent. In conditions of loneliness and sexlessness through structural withholding of the female resources. This phenomenon creates conditions of pussy insecurity, a problem that nowadays affects nearly 90% of the male population. Pussy insecurity is the lack of access to free or affordable quality pussy, which is necessary for the active and healthy life of a man. Several studies confirm that lack of this absolutely necessary resource creates trauma that causes serious mental, emotional, and physical health problems. It's true. Actually, I saw a news article recently that indicated, I think that one of the biggest ones that I was surprised to hear is that married men, like everyone knows that married men live longer. Did you know that married men will die with 10 times as much money? So I guess because women were like, hey, maybe let's put money away for retirement and for inheritance and shit. And otherwise a guy would just be like Dick Masterson and spend all his money on fucking Lolicon and fleshlights and 3D goggles to watch porn in. Like, if you don't have that, you're just dead. Anyways, I just want to show you what they said. Like, no pussy, no work, approved job. Actually, let's do the disapproved jobs. So these are the jobs that they would be doing if they were not deprived. Firefighter, airline pilot, and as is popular in conservative media right now, this is actually a really big deal. This is having a great effect, apparently. Police officer, electrician, doctor, paramedic, biochemist, sea captain, as opposed to other kinds of captains, urologist, construction worker, waste collector, all these different jobs that men are abstaining from to avoid putting work into a pussyless society. Let's see their approved jobs. None. There are no jobs approved for work if you until their demands are met. Very, very true. What got me about this, just as the idea, like I get it, it's funny, but not working to demand sex is like counterproductive to an extreme. It would be like no pussy, no bathing. We will remain extra stinky, rancid, vile, filthy until you give us sex. Like, you're really crippling your odds there in your protest. It feels like a little bit like you're shooting yourself in the foot by saying that. Cool. Let's see. What's the next one? I'm insecure. Oh, okay. I was going to show you this too. No matter how bad you feel about yourself, at least you didn't spend $7,000 for an alpha male boot camp just to be screamed at in the office parking lot.
Here's why. Here's why. Here's why. Are you touching me? Are you touching me? Are you touching me? Get the fuck off me. Get the fuck off of me. I'm not, you little bitch. I'm not touching you. Fucking bitch. All of you get in the fucking tubs. Get in the tubs. Every one of you. So, hey, what are you going to do now? What are you going to do now? Sir, every one of you get in the tubs. Get in the tubs. Get in the tubs. Shut up. There is no respect. Get in the tubs. You are going home. Oh, no, you're not. Sit down. You're not going to the fucking water. They're all going in the water. They're all going in the water. You're fucking done. You're fucking done. Here's why. Here's why.
I mean, I feel manlier just watching this. Why are they all bruised? Is this like a thing where you had to like self-flagellate? Like they all have the bruising. So I guess they were required to like self-flagellate like the Germans did to cure themselves of bubonic plague. That sounds reasonable, I guess. They beat this is alpha male training. You give Andrew Tate $7,000 and you can be humiliated in an office parking lot and beat with chains, apparently. Why is that guy wearing chains? He's wearing 2 chains. That's why they call him 2 Chains. I had a friend who anytime he had 2 of anything, he would say that. Literally about anything. We go to Taco Bell and he would get like 2 burritos and he'd be like, you know why they call me 2 burritos? Because I got 2 burritos. It would just do that all the fucking time. And I still remember this. It's still engraved into my brain. Anyway, okay. That's I don't actually have too much tranny nonsense to talk about, I don't think. This is more just like, I don't know what to call this rant I have. I'll put the hamsters away. I think, actually, you know what? Can we get both hamsters? Can I manage this? Oh, hell yeah. This is a double correspondence chat. A double Reno. We'll just do this. This will work. Now they're together. Isn't that cute? Maybe I should do it like this. Okay, there we go. So that her hat doesn't clip them. Now we're talking. Rachel Dolezal, who, if there is a gracious God you've forgotten about already. Rachel Dolezal was a white woman with permed hair who was obviously born white, who somehow managed to finagle her way into an NAACP chapter. She then was outed for being a honky and was let go from her NAACP chapter after a bunch of outrage. This was like in 2016, I want to say. This was Trump era. She came out and said a bunch of shit about Trump being a racist, and people were like, bitch, you're white. So that resulted in her being let go. She is apparently down bad for money because now she is trying to look Puerto Rican, it looks like, and she has decided to start an OnlyFans. However, her new job to make ends meet is a teacher. So when it was found out that she was both a teacher and an OnlyFans hoe who had an OnlyFans like advertisement for her OnlyFans on her van that she would drive to this private school, they fired her. She was fired. According to News for Tucson, Rachel Dolezal, who now goes by Nkechi Diallo, I guess she changed her name. Is Nkechi a Puerto Rican name? Lost her job with the Catalina Foothills School District Was under fire in 2004, accused of misidentifying herself as black while serving as the NAACP spokesperson in Spokane, Washington. Resigned amid backlash. She was a prominent civil rights leader and African studies professor in Washington State, accused of pretending to be black for personal gain. Diallo has made social media page where she linked an OnlyFans page that appears to be operated by her. We learned in Nkechi Diallo's OnlyFans social media posts after today, her posts are contrary to the district's use of social media by district employees policy. She is no longer employed by the Catalina Foothills School District. So there you go. She decided to become a hoe and was fired. And I don't know what kind of fucking name Nkechi is, but it sounds stupid. So there you go. That is your combo hamster news update, both whammon and news. And then this one, you know what? I'll leave it on. This kind of falls into both as well. This is a Kiwi Farms breaking news report. Genocider CO, who is also a super chatter. I know Genocider CO, common in the Maddie thread, also a super chatter, has published this. He attended a conference, the CEEU. I don't even know what that is. In one of the seminars, links to and references a document that Liz Fong Jones wrote or edited for Google on plurality in the workplace. Well, chat. Let's read. The Plurality Playbook to help employees and managers understand the dissociative disorders as well as plurality as a whole by Freya's Spirit, Lucia Batman, and Irene Knapp. Foreword by Liz. Are you curious what it's like to work with or manage someone who is plural? No, I pray, hands clasped right now, eyes closed, head pointed up. Dear God, please never put me in a situation where I have to deal with someone who is like Liz Fong Jones ever in my entire life again. Thank you. Amen. He continues, or if you're plural, perhaps you've wondered how to get your coworkers to better understand your and accept your neurodivergence. In 2016, Freya's Spirit and Irene realized that they could write a guide to plurality for all three of these audiences to help other plural systems come out of the workplace. And the document is a product of that effort and was published initially with the benefits of feedback from other plural systems. Hundreds of employees read this guide or used it when coming out to their teams. Personally, it was helpful for me to be a better ally at first and more useful after we awakened as a plural system ourselves. The authors of this document debated whether or when to publish it to the entire world. They were worried about facing retaliation from the company for doing so without its approval. Giving the publicity sounding the hashtag #pluralgang hashtag in early 2019 and the increasing number of systems that were coming out, they've decided now is the right time to publish with or without management's approval, and we are proud of them for taking that risk. We and the authors hope this document helps an even greater audience understand and other themselves. We all hope you find it historically interesting and practically useful. Liz Fong Jones, who identifies as a collection of Liz's. So if you don't remember, Liz Fong Jones is married to a man who will walk around in public led by a leash while Liz is in like a collar and BDSM gear. And this person has their hands tied like behind their back or under their clothes with no armholes as they identify as a snake that Liz Fong Jones, a plural of people apparently, will lead around so that he can go, I'm a snake. I'm a snake girl. I'm a slippery snake. I'm a snake and I'm also a snake girl. But now I should have realized the reason why Liz Fong Jones has been such a problem to me is that he's not just one gross brick-headed tranny. He's several. The full moon is the snake plural other system. We are all snakes and we are all girls and we are all snake girls. You stand no chance. Shut down that Kiwi Farms immediately. And yes, I did go to great lengths to set that up. Oh wait, I forgot one more thing I was gonna say. We We are many. We are Legion. We all have committed, and they are all committing as we speak. Surrender now, and the carnage will end. Awesome. Great. That's one Song Guns update. All right, I am done with any and all hamsters. The plural system of hamsters are dismissed. Next, chat, we got some LOL Cal updates. In particular, your boy, Too Mad, dead as fuck. Dead at 23, investigated as possible OD. So there's drama with him. I don't know anything about Too Mad, so you're really just gonna have to excuse my ignorance on this. You know how I feel about people of melanin, so I'm at a disadvantage here. From what I understand, he was just like a video game player, but he was also accused of being a pedophile. I believe that much is true. There is some contention on if he is or is not actually a pedophile. I've heard comparisons of him being made to the fat guy who's currently dying. And yeah, what's his name? Oh, EDP, Eat That Pussy, Phone 9. That guy. I've heard comparisons made to him, who was actually got twice for trying to solicit sex from an underage person. As far as Too Mad, I don't know the context. I just believe that it was related to Keemstar, really furthered the rumor. And I think that Keffel's even talked about this in context, because Keemstar has a habit of calling people pedophiles randomly. He called some random grandpa who dresses like as the old man and plays RuneScape, and that was like a lie. I'm pretty sure he just lied and didn't ever apologize for it. So because he plays RuneScape and he dresses up like the old man from RuneScape, therefore he's a pedophile. And he still gets shit for it, which is a fucking nightmare. Too Mad might have been the same thing. No, the old man's not dead, is he? No. What? Really? Oh no, he died in 2022. Wow, that's tragic. So fucking Keemstar called this guy a pedophile just because he's like an old man that plays RuneScape, and now he's fucking dead. I didn't know that. So that like Keemstar said about him haunted him until his fucking grave, literally. And then I don't know about Too Mad. I don't know if he did it or not. However, I will read some things said about him after his death. First off, this guy, actually this is a quote directly from him in his Discord, says, in December, for some reason I keep feeling like I'm fucked, but I quit ketamine today. Yeah, therap at a lot. LOL. Yeah, wait, I'll just read what he says too. Good shit, man. Have you ever talked to anyone outside of the internet? And then he says, yeah, therap a lot. I guess confirming that he goes to therapy. Technical says, that's great news. You're still relatively young, so I want you to be able to keep your head on straight and continue growing. Too Mad laughs and he says, yeah, props sounds corny, but your schizo post and ketamine usage can be genuinely worrisome. I'm just glad you're doing good right now. He says, yeah, I have friends over here right now. So he apparently is doing okay, but he is like addicted to ketamine. And then it was found that he was literally like slumped over his computer playing Overwatch, like at the time that he dies. Wait, that's out of order? No, it's not. Okay. Oh, it's part of this part here. They show him playing Overwatch for 5 days in a row because he died of ketamine at the computer table. He like slumped over from ketamine playing. He got wrecked so bad playing the shittiest fucking first person shooter out there right now, and it literally killed him. It caused him to overdose. So there's this ongoing drama with Jamesgate. I'm gonna need my chat to help me understand this retard shit. So as I mentioned, Too Mad had this reputation of possibly being a pedophile, but it could also just be some bullshit that Keemstar made up because Keemstar loves to make shit up. But he says, I can finally say it. Too Mad was a rapist and a pedophile. Over the past few years, he tried to murder me multiple times for helping the police and detectives in multiple states to investigate a lot of horrible things he's done. He wanted to take out multiple innocent lives by getting behind a wheel and going head on the freeway while being high on illegal drugs. He didn't succeed once as he overdosed before killing anyone, so he tried again. Despite him trying to murder me and multiple innocent lives, I've been trying to help law enforcement to make sure he's safe, doesn't get hurt, and doesn't harm anybody, which sounds like fucking bullshit. If someone was trying to threaten me, I would not be on Twitter like, I'm making sure that I'm helping him as I report them to the police. I'd be like, nah, nigga, you dead. I'm gonna make sure you dead, motherfucker. So that immediately raises a red flag that this guy is insincere as fuck. Please remember that he's a rapist and a pedophile. He continued to prey on vulnerable even after the police got involved, including a 13-year-old in a mental hospital. The tragedy doesn't excuse any of his actions. I will address a lot of stuff when I fully collect my thoughts. Past few months have been a total mess and the reason why I ended up in ER. Please help give me time. So this guy is also extremely mentally unwell to the point where he puts himself in what's the name of the California code? I'm going to assume that he's in California. There's a Derek Bentley, I think his name is Derek's Bentley song. It's like 5150. Somebody call the po. It's like that. He 5150'd himself because he's so sad. Now, this is confirmation of his death. Mudia Sadiq. And that sounds like a meme. Like, have you ever heard of Sadiq? Sadiq, these nuts. Something like that. Something really immature. Jabroni, I don't know, says some news site are reporting that two-man died last night. I just verified he's on the coroner's website is deceased. Just went over that. He continues. These recent allegations, referring to Jabrowski, says, the recent allegations, court cases, restraining orders he was getting into were dark, and it's tragic it ended this way. I know he hurt people, but when I was first starting out on YouTube a few years ago, he was nice enough to answer my messages, to give me advice. We talked intermittently. When Two Men was at his best, he was creative, funny. You never knew what he was going to say or do next. It was refreshing. I think after he moved to LA, things began to change. I'm telling you, it's a dark hole that nobody escapes out of. You think, oh, I'll just go to LA and make all sorts of money. Everyone does it. All my friends there. What's the worst that could happen? And then they end up getting like arrested for being pedophiles and dying of ketamine overdose. But he continues. I started posting videos less, started using substances more, and seemed like he lost his passion for YouTube. I didn't talk to him much during this time, but he allowed me to interview him along with Achitu after the recent lawsuit. The goofy guarded Tumad was still there, the one who never gave a straight answer or took anything serious, but the real person was still there just under the surface. We got to talk to him a little bit. I'm sad to say that the real person behind Tumad, Mudia, is gone. He was a troubled person, but had so much potential, blah, blah, blah. One of the last things I said to Man was about his ketamine problem, and I really thought it was turning around. I can't believe what I'm reading. Rubber Ross at Rubber Ninja says, this was a lot. I witnessed firsthand Tumad's threats on James' life during TwitchCon. He couldn't even go home because he knew his address and he was en route to Vegas after threats. He would have to use the motel room to hide out while waiting for law enforcement. There's another long-ass fucking post by this guy. When my friends and colleagues say that my life was in constant danger, they're not talking about just threats. Within a short time frame, I had a bullet hole put in my office window, was told to wear a concealed bulletproof vest when in public, witnessed SWAT team with ballistic shields outside my home, and had to cooperate with anti-terrorism units when the rapist made implications of people's lives being in my control at TwitchCon, leading to this entire convention center being surrounded by police SUVs. This isn't even all the things I and my colleagues and close ones had to endure. Just to get perspective, I don't think I need to explain why I'm not talking about it publicly, but if multiple people coming forward confirming what I said isn't true enough, a lot of information is now public record and can be accessed by anyone. Useful Mistake, who is very interested in legal stuff, did actually go and get the court records to show that there was a restraining order that was issued on May 12th, 2023 against Tumad. Which he could have done himself, but he didn't for whatever reason. There was never a lawsuit at any point. There were court orders that led to multiple cases. Once again, there has never been a lawsuit. A lot of things like these public records have always been, it was never about money. He lied to the public, and someone ate it up. Has been caught destroying evidence, sending death threats to witnesses, and fabricating stuff to brainwash his audience. The judge shut down his lies during the hearing, and all of this is public record. Just remember, this guy got caught hiding in the court's cafeteria when he realized that he would get to see one of his victims in person again. This is the same guy who was dancing on the grave of a murdered child just a year ago. Same guy who secretly recorded multiple videos of him committing crimes, including sexual assault and pointing a gun at one of his victims. He shared those videos with his friends, but was mortified to find out the court had gotten a hold of him. This is public record once again. One of the things that people said is that a bullet hole in your window in LA is not really evidence. That's just like par for the course. You can't really say that a bullet hole in your window when you live in LA was created by anyone in particular, because that just happens. If you live in LA, the chances of your window collecting a hole created by a projectile is like almost 100% after a couple months. So that was dismissed by critics. The other one was, if you look at the document, one of the things he submitted as evidence of harassment and threatening was a video that Too Mad had posted on the internet of him using a gun to kill a spider with. And he said that Too Mad was deliberately posting pictures of him with assault rifles in order to instill fear and obedience in his victims. But the issue was that it was an airsoft rifle. And the guy that filmed the video confirmed that it was an airsoft rifle, and Too Mad wasn't carrying a gun. But that did get filed in the court as evidence of harassment behavior because it looked like a gun, I guess. So I don't know. This is a little bit complicated. I don't want to make any determinations. I don't want to put my strong reputation on the This is the same thing I read in the beginning, sorry. On the line, in defense or against Too Mad, but these are the ongoing happenings, chat. Finally, more of the Vouch stuff. Actually, I'm switching back because there is. Okay, I showed that already. I will play this. I've never watched this before, so I'm gonna force you all once again to listen to Tipster.
So in the previous videos, I talked about how Ethan Klein of the H3 podcast exposed political.
Bro, this guy, this fat fuck. Okay, he's not showing his fat fucking face this time because nobody wants to see his fat fucking face. But he's doing the thing. He's like really close to his microphone and like Ethan Klein, like you can hear every like. Stop it. Stop it. Get back off. Back off of your microphone. It sucks.
YouTube streamer Vosh for having material on his computer.
Blowblacks? Oh, it is Blowblacks. Sorry, I instinctively say Blowblacks because that. I mean, look at his fucking name, bro. It's the worst fucking name. Get a pop filter.
That was so indefensible that even longtime enemy of the H3 podcast, Keemstar, came out in support of their call out of Vosh. But one of the few people who were brave enough to defend Vosh on this indefensible behavior was the YouTube commentator Tipster, who got into a bit of a back and forth with Ethan over their disagreement on this topic. And it ended up culminating in a live stream that Tipster did where he spends 3 hours criticizing Ethan's call out and defending Vosh for having cartoon lolly CP on his computer. But before we get into all of that, since I know Tipster is watching this video right now, I'd specifically like to let him know that this video is sponsored by Factor, the perfect solution for people who don't know how to cook good food or just don't have the time to do it. Because with Factor, every week you can get sent meals that are pre-prepared and ready to eat in 2 minutes or less. And what they send isn't your typical TV dinner. There are over 27 meal options each week, with most of those options focusing on health. And within those healthy meals, you can pick your own style, like one that's more focused on keto, low calorie, being vegan, vegetarian. However you want to eat, you will be able to do it with Factor, with the barrier to entry in cooking knowledge being 0. As well as every meal being ready to eat in 2 minutes or less, the time save and health benefits just make this a no-brainer to get if you are missing the time or skill to make proper meals for yourself. And I'm sure your body will thank you for your ability to consistently put good food into it. So if you want to check out Factor, you can get 50%.
I went pee. I went pee. Now you guys are watching the video. Okay, bros, hold up. All right, we're installing sponsor block right now. All right. Calm down. It's a fix. Never see a sponsor, but this motherfucker really gonna put, what is this? Is this that thing where you just order food and you microwave it? Oh, it's not even the main one. It's a Factor. It's Factor. I was thinking of what is it? It's like Fit. What beer? I'm drinking tea. Okay, unsweet tea. The perfect ad for a tipster episode. HelloFresh, that's what I'm thinking of. You can't even that HelloFresh. You gotta get this shit. Okay, I want to hear what this fat retard says.
Nursery chat.
Vibin, ready to talk about today's topic with you guys. It's a very content.
It's so weird to me. Like, I just look at this fucking freak in this room filled with toys in the same way that a lawyer would have bookcases with his encyclopedias and printouts of laws and statutes, and then maybe like an entire shelf for the Talmud. This guy has toys, just rows of toys. This is my personality, and I'm so hyped. I'm vibing. I want to talk to you guys about how much I love Voosh and Keffels, and I hate Ethan Klein because he says you can't jerk off to Lolicon. But come on.
Just topic, to say the least. And I think the thing that I hate the most about this topic is it's almost 1 year to the day that I had a fight with the YouTube commentary people revolving around a similar topic. Oh, shit. And I hate this particular topic because it just brings out like the biggest amount of brain rot.
Is that his soundboard? Does he have an oh shit button? Because he reaches over to, like,
YouTube commentary people revolving around a similar topic.
Oh shit! He's looking down and pressing a button. He has his. Why? What is that ad? What are you doing? Why would you do this?
And I hate this particular topic because it just brings out like the biggest amount of brain rot amongst everybody on the internet. Like, nobody could actually think about situations in terms of nuance or anything like that. They lose their fucking minds, and they can't have a rational thought when it comes to this stuff. So it's really annoying to have a conversation revolving around this subject.
Comment Cop shares this clip and says, "Cheers, my horse. Love ya. No pedo."
He posts my tweet and says, "Cheers, my horse. Love ya. No pedo."
Andy Warski quote tweets this and says, "I got banned from Tipster's chat for saying he shouldn't defend CP. He is losing his mind." Chris shares this clip and says,
I don't care what Andy Warski says.
Weird ass expressions for anything, everything. And how often are you being accused of being a pedo that you need a nickname for it? If the jacket fits, you must not acquit. Ethan, I don't know if you realize how optically bad what you just said looks. This looks fucking...
Imagine this guy. Imagine this fucker having the audacity to inform people about optics. Motherfucker, do you know how optically bad you look at every second of every day for your entire fucking life? You look optically bad as a default state. There's nothing you can do to make optically good looks for yourself. It is impossible. Ethan Klein's statement is... I know what he's going to say before he even says it, but I want to hear what he says because it's so funny to make fun of this guy. Ethan Klein is like, what the fuck is a pedo jacket? If people are calling you pedophiles so much that you have to have a term for being called a pedophile, you probably are a pedophile. If the jacket fits, you must not acquit. That's what he's saying. And I know what Tipster's going to say. I can already feel it undulating throughout the universe. He's going to say, if the anti-twans dog whistle, you can't say that. It's anti-twans.
Terrible, Ethan. You are talking to a community of people, the LGBTQ community, which are very regularly accused of being pedophiles and groomers constantly. Constantly being accused of these things. And you're going to ask them the question, how often are you being accused of being a pedo that you need a nickname for it? If the jacket fits, you must acquit. That is the most insanely fucked up, homophobic thing, transphobic thing, anti-LGBT thing I've ever heard. Not to be clear.
He says like he's on the verge of tears. No, you can't say that. It's transphobic. It's homophobic. It's anti-LGBT. It's queerphobic. You can't do it. No. I love it. Suffer. Why do you care? Does he really just want to bash the gash that much? Is that really what he's after? No neo-vag, no work, says Tipster. I'm gonna stop bathing and I'm gonna stop working at the grocery store until I get this bash that gash, ma'am.
I'm not saying I think that H3H3 is transphobic, homophobic, anything like that. I'm not saying these things, but you can make a statement that falls under that category without you yourself being those things.
Keemstar shares.
Can someone clip this with just Pixel? Okay, hold up. Wait. Okay, wait, I got this all set up. Hey, what does Tipster have to say about the Vouch stuff? I wonder.
It's pig squealing time, baby. Oh, there's crap stuck with
Wait. Do it. Get them squealing. Yeah. Make those pigs squeal.
I'm like it.
Man, I just want to say that I totally called it. I really knew that Tipster was going to say that. I've just heard that defense so much before in the past, chat. Another win for me. Excellent. Great suggestion. Really liven up the content. I want more of this. Blowblex, I need more Tipster content. I can't get enough.
I have evidence that will put Tipster in jail this stream. Literally go fuck yourself, Keem. You are a disgusting human being, and I regret that I ever associated with you or ever defended you. You are a piece of trash. Go fuck yourself.
Here, I'll ask you. Just follow through.
No, I don't. You're no better than Ethan is right here, if not worse.
I'm trying to find a video. Oh, this one. This is what Keemstar allegedly said about Tipster.
This dude needs to be in a fucking cage. Put him in a cage.
Look, they're gonna try to put him in a cage real quick.
This pig squealing.
I know, he's fighting it. He doesn't want to go in the cage. No, Keem, you're being too rough.
Didn't even know that was Keem. Yeah, he runs Happy Punch.
Keemstar then shares another clip and says, Tipster mad at Skyfire News.
Is the possession of child pornography immoral? Because it hurts people to make child pornography.
Ban Skyfire News. That's also Keemstar. Thank you.
Yeah, you have to hurt children to make it. That's why it's immoral. It's
Is
not
it really?
Immoral. It's
Does
immoral
Keemstar have like 8 different accounts?
I told you, Keem, you're not welcome in my chat. This is my chat is my fucking house, and you're not welcome here, you bald gnome bastard.
Oh my god, bro. When you're you, for the love of God, don't make physical appearance judgments. Bald, bro, your hairline's receding. You're about to look like his head is genuinely about to look like an egg. You could put this fucker in a little suit and have him play Humpty Dumpty in a play. He does not get to go around calling other people offensive nicknames based on how they look. I don't care who they are, what they look like. You've lost that card. You don't get to play it anymore. Come on now.
Get the fuck out.
So,
and then finally, Keemstar posts this clip and says, Tipster's mad at LolCow Live. Tipster has 300 live viewers. Last LolCow had over 5,000 live viewers.
It's the LolCow podcast doing these days, Keem. I saw you guys got an initial boost of views on that show.
Whoa.
And then
okay. Fucking Wings of Redemption is trying to get Bossman Jack and Chantel on LolCow Live, and it's kind of irritating me. Like, back off. These are my things. I have nice things that I enjoy, and I don't want Keemstar involved. I think that that's very reasonable. There are other things for Keemstar to ruin. It does not need to be my shit. Okay, come on now.
And your like show just fucking died like weeks later.
They're tagged. Check the ear. There's the LolCow LLC and then a number. Okay, don't cattle rustling used to be a capital offense back in the day, Keem. You don't want to do that.
It's almost like you're kind of irrelevant these days, And you don't have the star power that you used to, Keem. That you can't make a podcast be successful overnight the way you used to.
Nicholas Diorio responds, he's the least threatening degen ever, lol. Blitz responds, how are these pedos not banned and jailed? Skelly tweets out this clip and says, oh no, Tipster wasn't happy
about people's reactions. Is this what he does? Is this what Blowblacks does? He just plays. I want to see the Tipster
How
content.
dare Keemstar show his fucking face in my chat? Don't you ever show your face in my fucking chat again. You're not welcome here.
Squatchin responds, why does it sound like he's going to cry? Kristen shares this Tipster clip and a safe for work picture of the girl that Vosh was caught having CP of on his computer and captions it by
started digging into these images. They allegedly found that some of these images, like one or two of these images might be lolly. And so they went on the Vosh is a pedophile thing.
Kristen follows up the clip by saying, has a time is a fucking hard drive Tipster's pictures on it doesn't direct him law. It simply start intel lover hit.
Not hating everybody has. There's a lot of
shares this clip from Tipster's live stream and says,
show me his hot
Tipster
takes.
has died on the hill.
And I know there's a lot of people who are going to disagree with my position on this. That's fine. Not everybody has to agree with me. If I legitimately thought that Vosh was advocating for things that would potentially bring harm to children, I would not be defending him here. I would not be defending him if I thought he actually believed in, you know, arguments in favor of child pornography.
Oh yeah,
I would not be.
That's something to mention. I already played this. No, I'll play that in a second. But one of them, I think it was Val or Tipster. I think Tipster was the one saying that Flamenco is a pedophile because Flamenco had that Boy Soprano shit on his favorites or something. And there was something else I forgot, but people called him a pedophile, and he dipped out of the VTuber shit for like a year. And now Tipster's gonna defend Vouch for having Lolicon on his computer, like demonstrably so, and then say that Flamenco is a pedophile for the exact. It's so inconsistent. The only way to delineate between who Tipster and Keffels want to defend and who they want to call pedophiles is literally just if they like them or not. It's like, come on. So disingenuous, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's one thing to sit here and like wave a finger and be like, oh, you're doing something bad that I don't like, and I find that hypocritical of you, so I'm going to wag my finger and make fun of you on the show. That doesn't accomplish anything. But I think that when someone is like so inherently contradicted and so hypocritical, it really hurts them long term, which is why I get to sit back and I get to see these people immolate over time. Because when someone has built their foundation so shakily and they have no scruples and they have no moral compass and they have no dignity and they have no principles and they have absolutely nothing that guides them in any like tangible way, inevitably they're gonna fuck up. They're gonna, you know, build their entire the roof over their head on a poor foundation, and it will collapse on them inevitably. Now, it's just when people are like so obviously two-faced, there's no way that in the long term they're going to avoid, you know, completely fucking everything up. I did do a Stu voice. I didn't even know I could do a Stu voice. I just wanted to do a silly voice, and I immediately mimicked Stu for some reason eating a pizza. Anyway, that's it. Now let's make fun of Ralph a little bit. Gabe Hoffman says, Ethan Ralph is currently delinquent on 2 months of child support for his only son, $800 per month for a total of $1,600 for January and February, due on the 1st, which I was informed of by a primary source. Stalker Child at Enjoy Prison, which is one of the best names on Twitter, says Ethan Ralph has left Mexico and will be in Memphis for this Thursday through Sunday. He has challenged people to try and find him. Gun Hunt 2024 has kicked off. So this could be another epic Ralph misdirection. We will see. Is he so clever? Is he so smart and funny that he has misdirected everybody yet again with his extremely high IQ? Only time will tell. Yes, Gabe Hoffman really, really hates Ralph. I went over that. Okay, so I will watch. I have not watched. Okay, this is one of those things where I hear, I know what it's about. I've seen it. I thought about it, but I have set it aside for a genuine reaction. Now, in the legal sphere, actually, this might require a little bit of an Alyssa clip to proper show people. Let me just hop back over to. I'm gonna do Alyssa clips, and I'll just play like a second of this because it's not so important. you'll understand very quickly what the gist is. And I can find it. Okay, so there is a woman that's suing Disney. And of course, because this is a big lawsuit, it's like perfectly in that parallel economy. It's like right up Rumble's alley. Like all the people on Rumble that do shows about politics and shit, obviously they're going to talk about this kind of thing. So everybody chipped in, and Legal Mindset thought, you know, it'll be funny if I just watch all these other law tubers give their takes about the lawsuit and then rank on a tier list how informed they were, how strong their legal arguments were, how thoughtful, you know, so on and so forth. So he decided to just grade them, and he gave poor Rekieta an F.
We've got one more. And
so he
of
watches
course,
him,
that is the Rickety Rockets.
And then he
so
grades
let
it.
us.
So
this is where I'm going to put this at. Wow. Okay. I honestly like. I don't even know what to say. I don't want to. He didn't read the complaint, so my threshold for C tier was reading the complaint. I mean, D tier is.
I see potentially criminal up there. You got an S. Legal Mindset has given my boy an S for super good.
Clear. He'll make a D tier. It might even be F, but I wanna put it here because it's locals. It's late night. He didn't know. He gave a good defamation analysis, but that was completely wrong. But yeah, he got like,
wait, no, he does drop
a little bit, like a shade of the basic facts, right? Potentially criminal. Nate, here, the F-bomb percent 60. Okay, we'll see. I'll give it a second here.
Oh, he did.
All right, I'm checking the poll. I'm checking the poll.
That's why
63% of
he
you
wanted to go easy on Rekieta because it was just a shitty local stream, and he admitted up front that he didn't do any research into what he was saying and just did like an off-the-cuff analysis of theoretically what he thought the case might be. And so Legal said, well, he admits that it was a shit legal take because he, you know, was drunk eating garbage in his kitchen as he fucking does. This is half of his content at this point. So I'll be nice. I'll give him a D. But then Legal said, okay, I'll do a poll. What do you guys think? And everyone said F because they like to shit on Rekieta. that's really in vogue right now. So he gave him an F. Rekieta did like a wobbly, I don't care what people think about me. That's how I am as a streamer. You know, everything I do, I do for myself, for my fans. And if people don't like it, well, they can pound dirt, whatever. However, upon orders, believed to be upon orders of Commander Dick Masterson of the Reich Commiserat has ordered Ethan Ralph, a lowly peon, to cut a promo making fun of Legal Mindset for daring to say that Rekieta Law is an F of anything. Let's listen until I get bored of it.
I like Rekieta. Fuck Legal Mindset. He can fucking choke to death on a dick and join 2 Mad for all I care.
Imagine being like, that's like a hard thing to cut a promo on. Okay, so a LawTuber did legal analysis of different LawTuber takes and found that Nick Rekieta's take was one of the worst. You're really upset about this. Everything that Rekieta says is true and factual and the best possible take. You're gonna do 8 minutes making fun of this guy you've never heard of before? No.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Legal mindset, legal mindset, legal mindset. Yeah, here's my legal mindset. Here's my legal mindset. Come put me in jail, cocksucker.
How that works.
Cause I ain't going back to jail. I'd rather be 6 feet under than back in that fucking hellhole. Come put me in jail.
Nobody has said that he's going to jail. Why? Why? I guess it's because when you cut a profile or cut a what was it called? Cut a promo, then you just have to like go off the cuff and say shit, right? So he's like, okay, well, what do I have to rant about? He's a lawyer. I guess lawyers are kind of involved in the criminal justice process. I don't want to go back to jail. It's one of my favorite things to say. Yeah, I'll just say that he's trying to put me back in jail for some reason.
That That's my fucking legal mindset, god fucking damn it.
Please, chat, do not let Ethan Ralph take the Lord's name in vain and say the Lord's name with the F word, okay?
Put me in the ground! Legal mindset! Legal mindset! Legal dick sucker is more like it. Fuck you, bitch. Faggot looking motherfucker.
Faggot looking? He looks really normal. He looks kind of like that Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh, you know what I mean? Just a little bit like him.
I didn't like you from the moment I fucking first heard your voice, which was 3 days ago. Ricada made you. I'd love to see him suck the shit out of you, too. Which I have no doubt that he probably would.
Hold up. Ricada would slap the shit out of this guy. Hold up. Let's get a recent video of Ricada. By the way, you can see that he's changed like the color temperature on his videos so that he doesn't look so like disgusting. You know what? Like, I'll show you because you can tell. Okay, you can. Oh, these are perfect side by sides. This is a recent Ricada video, and this is like from a few days ago. You see the color temperature is like just completely changed because he just looks like a age-ridden zombie. He's like, it's like he's an animated corpse back from the dead on a task by his necromancer to find all the fifths of whiskey and drink them all. And then he's like, oh, fuck, I look terrible. How am I going to hit on my Discord kittens when I look like such shit? I know. I'll just add a piss-tinged hue to my camera, and then I'll look like a human being with color in his flesh again. So here we go. This guy versus this guy. I don't know. If I had to pick, they look like they're about the same age. This guy has at least like 40 pounds on him, especially now that he's like proto-AIDS victim. I would bet on my boy Kavanaugh.
I know for fucking shit I would.
The jaundice filter. If I add the jaundice filter, they'll never know that I'm in liver failure. Come on, Ralph. Come on.
Mindset. Oh. Some fucking piece of shit.
This is low energy, Ralph. Like you can't just like if you just take the music out of this, it's like, oh, this guy, fuck him. He's a piece of shit. I want this guy. Oh. Fuck you, bitch. I ain't going to jail. Okay, I give up. You lost me, Ralph. Boring. Okay, hold up. 1 second. I have to find something. I think this is it. Okay. I just want to... Surely there's like a button I can press for this, right? Okay, perfect. I must be logged in. Oh, no. No. You're not forcing me to log in. I am going to go to Paint. I'm going to crop this out. I'm going to save as thing. I'm then going to go to my folder. I'm going to go and I'm going to put this on my screen. Will chat be able to figure out what I'm doing as I do this live? Then I will do take snapshot, save to downloads. And then I'm going to put this on the screen. Oh, what is Josh doing? Ralph, I'm rating your promo an F. It's not even on the screen. Theoretically speaking, if there was an F tier on this chart for this promo, comparing it to no other promos that I know about, it's going in the F tier because you're sitting there with fucking music playing, saying absolutely nothing for 8 goddamn minutes. No excitement, no passion. You don't even know who he is. You've never seen this guy before. You have no idea what he looks like, and you're defending somebody who has AIDS. That is all the makings of an F tier, chat. Give him the big thumbs down, the thumbs down Reno for being a loser. Okay. Short stream. I actually planned for this to be a short stream because I anticipated that my computer would crash and everything would be horrific again, and I would close the stream midway through because of technical issues. But everything worked. Oh my god. I fixed the HTML injections, the live counters work. Everything's just working, chat. One parting gift for everybody. The Reddit segment. Are actual lesbians over 25? Rule 1 and genital preference. Hello. The moderation team has come to a consensus that going forward, posts regarding genital preferences will be banned. These posts only draw out TERFs from outside our community and further divide us. TERFs do not have any place in this lesbian community and will be removed. Trans women are women, regardless of where they are in their tradition or what genitals they may have. As lesbians, we may not find all women to be attractive, but posts expressing transphobia, talking about how certain genitals or experiences completely disqualify you from being attracted to them as a partner, will be removed, and serious offenses will lead to a ban. This is a community to discuss our experiences as lesbians, all of whom are over the age of 25. Discussions of exclusionary behavior are not welcome and are now banned. Under Rule 1, be kind. This includes all transphobia, fatphobia, ableism, racism, and other forms of discrimination. I will share my personal feelings on why the genital preference issue is transphobic, and the comments on this post are open for civil discussion. So saith I. From you, Acid Voice, who also posts in Dykes Gone Mild. Sick New World was pretty sick. The complete and total destruction and humiliation of lesbians who just want to get the fuck away from men continues. And continues to drive people to the right. Because why else wouldn't it? Yeah. Isn't this funny that this guy is just like, yeah, I can tell people what to do. I'm gonna wear an upside down pentagram shirt and dye my hair pink, and I'm gonna take over women's subreddits because I can. Epic own. That it is. That, you know what? Who said that? Pine Spines. Pine Spines says Reddit moment. And yes, that is accurate. This is a genuine, certified, 100% wholesome Big Chungus Reddit moment. Thank you. Okay, so let's see if I can figure out how to make this shit green. And we'll do the super chats, and hopefully the super chats are still there. Green. All right. I do not have an outro song picked out. Actually, I might do a repeat. I think I've done the song before, but I'll play that if something doesn't come to me. Let's check the dashboard, see if that fucker's working. It did work. Okay, excellent, wonderful. The Lion King for 5 says Kansas City cops are shielding gang members, but Southerners told me police were based and perfect in red states, and I'm just a Yankee libtard forever believing ACAB. Cops always suck. I don't know what that's a reference to. Oh, you mean, well, the PR people in these departments don't, like the cops don't actually get to decide what the PR people are going to do. The PR people, the city council is going to do whatever the fuck they want. The elected sheriff is going to do what gets them reelected. When you have black people in the city, you can't like shit on black people. Lion King for 2 says support the brave police in the free state of Florida. Who else would defend our pride flag crosswalks from truck tires? ACAF. That refers to a person who was charged for a hate crime for doing a burnout on a crosswalk rainbow flag thing. Yeah, it's always like that. Murdoch Chan for 20 says, happy Friday, fellow farmers. Enjoy this cover written by my very own wholesome Big Chungus. Let's take a look. Oh, okay. I'll play a second of this because it is pretty funny.
To the Kiwi town of Christchurch rode a stranger one fine day. Oddly glanced at all the Muslims, didn't have too much to say. No one dared to ask his business, no one gave him eye contact. Hell no. Well, the stranger there among them had a rifle on his back. Rifle on his back.
I don't know what this is referring to, but it's very catchy. This is Marty Robbins' Big Iron New Zealand cover. You want to look it up. Thank you. XXX Hank Scorpion XXX for 2 says, "Hey Josh, great seeing you on Pippa Pipkin stream last night. Sorry you BTFO'd by Bossman Roscoe. I was informed that Pippa Pipkins did a Roblox tournament and one of the players was named Joshua Connor Moon. So of course I want to hear about this for the next week. Thank you." Supreme Me for 2 says, "Welcome back to Team Windows. Linux is only free if you don't value your time." It's not that I don't value my time, it's that I hate Microsoft. And I'm on the long-term support channel, so I have a little bit of leeway with this, but eventually, I mean, it has to get better one day, man. Casting Couch Crab for 10 says, "The invertebrate of the day is the Caribbean reef octopus." All right, let's see that fucker. Sounds cool. Oh. He changes colors, chat. There are many different colors of this octopus. I'll put them up on the screen. Thank you. Romberger for 2 says, "Sure, Josh, your fans donate $150,000, but putting a hamster up for news feels childish like a kid's show. Just do what you're told, you Pippa-kissing rabbit lover." Fuck you. Judy Tester for 2 says, "Strong work as always." Thank you, thank you. Hoping and Sneeding for 10 says, "When I went to Europe for the first time before I arrived, I really thought the U.S. is better than everyone else. I came back to the U.S. and haven't been able to look at the country the same since." The U.S. has one thing and one thing only going for it: the First and Second Amendments. And we are very precariously close to losing both of them. It is what it is. The reason why I want to come back to the U.S. is because those things are better than fuck. The Second Amendment is better than cheese, chat. Even cheese. Thank you. Roxanne Wolf for 5 says, "Bark, bark. What's the best part of a pizza? The cheese." Obviously. Come on now. You can do anything you want to a pizza, but you cannot remove the cheese. You can even remove the bread. I think. I mean, you can get really, I don't know, that's a bit tough. You do need bread, but I'm not ambivalent towards like crispy crust or normal crust. I just don't like pan pizza that's like all crust. But I mean, the cheese is obviously the most important part. Thank you. Rand Away We Go for $15 says, "Have some dough from me, courtesy of those faggots from the IRS. Only got $100 for my tax refund." Listen, Goy. Listen here, Goy. I mean, can I rub my hands closer to the mic? There are hundreds of people in your town who need EBT and HUD credits. I slipped from Jewish to country. It's a complicated, doing silly voices is a complicated thing, chat. It's very complicated. But I'm sure they appreciate your money, is what I'm trying to say. Supreme Me for 2 says, "The reason Farmer Bro Martin Shkreli was so demonized by the media was not because he was ripping people off. It was because he was pulling the curtain back on the scam that is American healthcare." That is 100% correct. This is a take that was a pill I did not want to take because I hated the Farmer Bro Martin Shkreli. But I looked into it, and the facts are he bought a pill that almost nobody used. It was like an anti-parasite pill for people that had a certain kind of AIDS. And there was like a couple hundred people who had a script for this. And he jacked the price up from however much to like $1,000 a pill. And if the people were self-paying, couldn't afford it, he would directly send them the medication. But then for everybody else, they paid nothing. They still paid nothing. They paid $0 out of $14 a pill, and then $0 out of $1,000 a pill. The only reason why he got into trouble for this is because people found out, and they made us think about it, and then people realized, wait, all pharmaceutical companies do this. All of them do. So he went to jail, but he went to jail for a completely unrelated reason, and it was a kind of fraud that none of his customers reported to the police. So basically, he was running a business. He had investors. The investors were happy with his company, but then he technically somehow committed fraud, and they got him for that, for a crime that nobody was victimized by. And it just so happened to be after he demonstrated to the world that the U.S. healthcare system was a fucking scam. Very crazy story. And especially with how the media universally portrayed this guy like he was raping babies or something. Really, really, really crazy. Stalker Child, enjoy prison for 5 says, F for Ak Divka. I have no clue what you're talking about, but I'm pressing F, my boy. Thank you. Anime Extremist for 2 says, Australia doesn't have single payer. It's what is known as a 2-tier system, and it's not socialized government run. It's the best type of healthcare system, in my opinion. I could be very wrong. I know that Australia has the best retirement system in the entire world. Here's how because I worked in Australian taxes, so I know how the superannuation is a cool word, first of all, but it's basically their 401ks. When you start working, the government requires you to open a private account called a superannuation fund. Then they mandate that a certain amount of a certain percentage of your money, up to a certain amount, is taken directly from your bill or from your paycheck and put into your superannuation fund. Your superannuation fund is held in a bank of your choice, and you can move it at will from whatever bank to whatever other bank. So it's basically a 401k, or it's basically, okay, sorry, no, it's not. It's a 401k, but it's closer to Social Security. But instead of Social Security being a giant pot that the government can take money from at any point, you control it entirely, and they can't steal from you. So it's kind of like a mix between a 401k and Social Security, where the government forces you to have money sense in a sense. So I can believe that Australia also has some kind of goofy healthcare system that is smarter than the rest of the world, because Australians, their government has some pretty nifty ideas at times. Cool. Red Eyes Black Dragon for 1 says, I can't believe Coach Red Pill died to Azov Battalion. Resting in power, King. They did get him in the end. They said they were going to. Malscott 5 for 5 says, you are pronouncing Nevada wrong. The first A sounds like the A in Apple. People in Nevada don't like it when you say Nevada. Apple? Not Nevada. Nevada. Oh, are you saying like Nevada versus Nevada? I switch between it depending on how I'm speaking. I think I was saying it right when I read your super chat, which makes it confusing. Nevada. Nevada? Nevada. Yeah, Nevada. Yes, you gotta talk like an Amerimut. You gotta be like, yeah, it's taking a trip down to Nevada. Nevada. And gamble. I want to have a nice gamble sesh in Nevada. Forsaken Wanderer for 7 says, Josh, they are using Talmudic AOE magic to disrupt mana. You must pull 7 silver pieces and circle around your computer to stop this. Or it can just use Windows, apparently. Forsaken Wanderer for 7 says, if Ralph needs money fast, he could frame his sharded jeans and sell them to the coin man for a cool 10K. He would have enough to get to McMurdo base. No A-logs down there. I mean, he could do a lot of stuff for money. I didn't know that What's-His-Face was buying his sharded jeans for $10,000, though. It's a lot of silver to sell for that. Sarcastic Madman for 15 says, you were a runner-up and nearly won this game of Survivor. He did pay $15 fucking. Let me guess. This is Pippa Pipkins. Just so you know, anime time is twice as expensive. So 7 seconds.
Joshua Connor Moon, that's 4 votes.
That Roblox character looks a lot like me. I'm just going to say. That's pretty good. Whoever made this did a really good job. I am that handsome, actually.
Let's go, Kiwi Sisters. No.
Okay. It's enough rabbit for one week. Thank you. Angel Vomit for 1 says, haven't been able to watch live in a while because of work, but it's a relaxing day at the cemetery and I'm happy to be here, friends. There's a song. I'm going to change my outro song because you have inspired me. Thank you. This will be a shout out to Angel Vomit in particular, this outro song, because I didn't know what I was going to play. Foxes for 10 says, I can't express how much I hate there is no ethical consumption under capitalism faggotry. It's just an excuse to be a hedonist sack of shit, basically. It's like, oh, well, you think that society has problems? Well, you participate in society. It's basically just that argument. It's fucking gay. TB Dogs for 5 says, I just got a call with the board of Maddie investors. Your 2-week vacation didn't get approved. Sorry, Josh. I'm also going to need you to come in on Saturday to finish those TPS reports. Okay, thanks. It's a Fight Club reference. I got that, bro. Thank you. The Lion King, for one, says, Too Mad has joined our holy martyr George Floyd in the rehab in the sky. Wakanda rejoices and buys you a chicken pizza in his honor. I do not get chicken on pizza. I mean, I guess it's because it's a black people thing. I got you. Tech Controller for $50 says, as a dirty Americhet working in Poland, I can attest to getting between 2 to 3 weeks of groceries for around $100. It's fucking insane. I'm telling you, man. You know, I understand that purchasing parity is different and that people are poorer in Poland and poorer in Russia. Like, I get that. But it is fucking insane how much EBT and HUD has distorted the American purchasing power and like basically ruined people's ability to afford normal. If you work and pay taxes in the United States, you are funding a parasite class both up and down. If you wanted to fix the American budget, all you have to do is cut Social Security and cut healthcare and cut Medicaid, and your taxes would immediately drop in half. There would be no deficit in the budget. People always gripe about fucking military spending. It is giving black people free shit. That and illegal immigrants. That is it. That is the entire U.S. budget, is giving black people and Mexicans free shit. And the second you cut that out, you know what's going to leave the country? Mexicans. You don't need to fund the largest deportation in human history. You cut out the free shit, they leave because they can't afford the country. They will fucking go home. Space Allen for 20 says, thumbs up. Cheers. Thank you, Space Allen. I appreciate it. Real Frog God for 5 says, frog of the day is the Perez snouted frog. When looking for an interesting frogs and for my frog of the day, attempt to find one with this, find a sneed frog, and this was the result. Show him, please. Okay. Is he gonna be yellow? You gonna be yellow with green suspenders? Not really. He is a nice looking frog though. He got a white belly. It's a handsome frog, I gotta say. Thank you. Patrick S. Tomlinson for 5 says, only way to get people to better understand you is to avoid LARPing as different, more quirky types of retarded than you actually are. Is this a pointed message to me? I feel like I say too much retarded shit. Jeff Sarcio for 1 says, CEU stands for Continuing Education Units. It's a requirement for licensure to attend courses and conferences for a certain number of hours. Well, I hope you feel educated. I hope not now when you encounter a mentally handicapped person in your office making more money than you who also collects ADA disability funds. You know how to appreciate them and how to politely respond to them and respectfully address them by pronouns. Thank you. Don 00 Joe for 5 says, as a 90s Gen Z, I believe that black pill is my generation's MK Ultra. This is closely associated with inceldom and women hatred pushed too much. IMO. Thoughts, your streams have been great for years. Thank you. Maybe it's hard for me to say that it's MK Ultra because that was like, I think that it's just the natural consequence of people who are hopeless and who choose to be miserable. I mean, maybe there are people who are actively pushing it, but you don't really need that. The crab bucket mentality is the adversary of all mankind. And you see this with trannies, and you see this with the incels too, is that you have people who are miserable and who just spend their time trying to make other people miserable. That's all they do. They try to trick people into cutting off their dick or to foregoing relationships and, you know, being miserable and finding the negative side of everything. I don't know if you need the government to get people to do that. It seems to be a natural behavior. The Uncredited for 1 says, love you, Josh. Smiley face. And then the Uncredited for 20 says, happy Fish Friday, Josh. Oh, I think that this is the person who did the fish song. Yes, I will play it again.
And a little bit of fishy fried. Cold fish on a Friday night.
Don't send this in every day.
Of fish just right. And the water level up. See the fish tonight. See the fish and a woman smile. See the touch of a precious fins in your
I can't wait to go fishing in the USA, chat. Now crack me open I can't say bud, that's not the cool thing anymore. A Yingling. Crack me open a Yingling bottled in the US of A. Yeehaw. Catch me a fish fry. I've been informed that if I want to catch fish and eat fish, I should seek out panfish. They are called panfish because they are tasty in a pan, chat. That is what I've been told. Mouse Cop 545 says 2 pee breaks in one podcast. Josh Diabetes Arc. Listen, bro, I chug water. I like to stay hydrated. I also drink a lot of diuretics. I drink a lot of coffee and caffeinated drinks and tea, which also has a lot of caffeine. And then I drink a lot of water because I get thirsty because I drink so much caffeine. And then I have to go pee a lot. It's not diabetes. I've already been tested for shit like that. It's literally that I am physiologically addicted to caffeine, which I mulled over what to do for Lent this year. And I decided that I've already given up everything except caffeine. And I decided that right now in particular, caffeine would be too hard to give up. Like I could say I'm going to give up caffeine, but I would lie. So I'm just going to fast on weekends. I've decided that that's going to be my Lent thing, which I know is not like the coolest possible commitment to make, but it's reasonable and probably good for me. Lint is spelled with an E. Lint with an I is shit you find in your dryer. Give up trannies. Jesus gave his life for you and you can't give up caffeine. I can do it anytime I want, just not right now. I'm busy. I got shit to do, okay? I'm sorry. One day I'll be better. I'll be more Christ-like. But at the moment, I have a monster and I need it. Sorry, bro. Devious V for 2 says, next time you do a merch run, you should sell bandanas. I'm a big bandana guy. I always carry one. What are you, Mexican? Who the fuck wears a bandana? I was gonna make a Scooby-Doo joke, but he wears an ascot, not a bandana. Only Mexicans wear bandanas. Kurt Eichenwald, anime masturbator for 5 says, most esteemed and venerable QEDIMO. Did you see that ChatGPT can generate video now? Is this the beginning of the end? It's so fucking over, you can't even believe how over it is, bro. Thank you. The Lion Kang for 1 says, pray for Armenia. Oh, God, someone even asked me to talk about this, but Armenia is getting ready for another war with Azerbaijan. If we don't know, Armenia is like south of Georgia. It's in the Caucasus, and their neighbor is Azerbaijan, which is like an artificial state that was created by the Soviet Union. And Azerbaijan is bordered between Armenia, I think Georgia, and then Iran. But because Azerbaijan has land that Iran has like a historic claim to, Israel funds and trains the military of Azerbaijan because it creates problems for Iran. And since Armenia is aligned with Russia, and Russia is currently busy in Ukraine, nobody will help Armenia because Israel funds their enemy because it's funny to them to see Christians die. Russia is busy fighting another war and they can't get involved in Armenia. And NATO has no interest in protecting Armenia from Azerbaijan because they also, NATO's interest always aligns with Israel's. So basically, Azerbaijan has very obscurely, Azerbaijan has a free pass to basically invade Armenia and kill its citizens and kill its border guards and oppress its people and take its land over and over again, and nobody's going to do anything about it. The oldest Christian country in the world, by the way. I think that the Armenian church is like 1,700 years old, something like that. It's very old. One of the oldest forms of Christianity on the planet still. Anime Extremist for 2 says, I saw a Wings of Redemption clip, I think from Breaking Banquet a few weeks ago. Wings was trying to get a hold of you because he wanted you to get you as a guest for an interview on the Lolcow podcast. I will not be doing that. Osmium for 2 says, Nick losing his liver, Ralph being more fatter than Christian on Ambien, more flatter than Christian on Ambien, Tara Warwick being a hypocrite by simp-splaining his goons about chivalry, though he's a textbook example of being cucked, LOL. Yeah. Carl is Styx, right? God, he's such a faggot. Don't forget the other guy, he's the guy in Black and Red who did the Michael Jackson documentary. Don't forget the time that his girlfriend took his phone and called him a serial porn addict on Twitter And then he said, haha, my phone got hacked. Hee hee, oops, just a big silly joke. And then his girlfriend that he was with at the time has since disappeared completely from his content and has never shown up again or been mentioned ever since. So he just fucking, the rageaholic. So he just fucking lied to everybody's fucking face. He has like a public anti-porn stance, but then his girlfriend just hit the dab on him and now she's disappeared. She's been black bagged. New York Times for Tuesday. Sorry I made you watch the video last stream. It's okay. I accept your apology. Sergeant Wizard Fist for Tuesday says, decided to check out a VTuber drama you talked about, and it's very weird seeing how parasocial the fans of these people are. Wouldn't surprise me if one of them firebombed the company for revenge. I mean, they are guys who are in love with a cartoon character. I mean, that's what it is. It's like you watch these. I don't know. I think all these people watch VTubers for like a little bit of social interaction with like an anime girl. Like they love anime girls, and this one responds to them. So that's like the entire crux of it. Colia Dante, for instance, does anybody believe Tipster schizoid lolly takes? Paraphrase: I think lolly is disgusting, but I am friends with lolly artists and we criticize people for drawing lolly or evil. I don't think Tipster has any principles. He'll just say whatever. He'll say whatever he feels is like the most economic thing. Like he's just gonna say, like, I'm not into lolly because he doesn't want people to call him a pedophile. But then he's also gonna defend everybody who consumes it or creates it because he has to. Doing your mom 2988 for 2 says, my brother, I knocked him out cold. Did you say something last? Okay, someone in chat explain to me what the fuck. What that means, because I think he's referencing something he said yesterday, and I just completely forgot because I was miserable last stream. Sorry. Osmium for 2 says, of following retards, who would win in a WWE style grudge match? Racket Stick, Ralph, DSP, Boogie's Keffel, Destiny, or Elliot Dong Dong Jones? Well, Elliot is in chronic pain. Destiny is like 4 foot tall. Keffels is also in chronic pain. Boogie is very fat, and we've already seen him fight, and he sucks. DSP, I'll get back to him thinking on that. Ralph is a fat midget who's also addicted to Xanax, so I'm assuming that his pain tolerance is very low. Sticks is a spindly faggot, but he's normal, I guess. And Rackets has AIDS. DSP, I don't think does DSP is DSP the one that has back pain? He's complained about back pain, right? He's like also disabled. Oh fuck, man. That's actually a really hard one. I would say it's between Sticks and Rackets, just because they're the only ones who are not like, they don't have like a serious debilitating chronic illness. He has gout. You know what? I'm gonna bet on DSP. I think he could take them all at once too. He's an epic gamer too, so he knows what to do. Colia Dante for 10 says, Ricardo's recent videos have been Breaking Bad Mexico filter because he secretly moved in with Ralph. I didn't watch Breaking Bad, but I kind of understand what you're saying. Maybe that would be Kino. Crispy Legs for 5 says, it's Friday. Party emoji. Yes, it is. Pizza day. Pizza day, my boy. Romburger for 2 says, you used to think sharing music that you liked and representing your mindset was important. Now you just forget to pick out outro songs. What gives faggot looking mindset? I've already played many of the songs that I like. So sometimes I hear songs and I set them aside, or sometimes there's a theme to what I'm talking about that I don't really have a song for. So it's just hard. Sometimes I just have to pick something random. Dad them for 10 says, God bless you, Josh. Thank you. Appreciate it. I never know how to respond to that because it sounds weird to say you too. Someone who is a church-going member of Honest Society, tell me what the appropriate knee-jerk response to God bless you is, because I don't have one. I don't have one programmed into my brain, and it catches me off guard. Thank you. Aaron Dill for 1 says, can you clarify your Maddie schedule? Last stream you said you won't stream for 2 weeks. I almost missed today's stream. A month ago you said you won't no longer stream on Tuesday. I am considering going back to 1 stream a week this year. Don't know when, but just be on the lookout for that. I might change my schedule. And I said I might not stream for 2 weeks last stream. Not immediately. I am considering taking 2 weeks off, but not right now. So at some point in the future, be aware, I will take 2 weeks off, and at some other point in the future, maybe at the same time, maybe not, I am considering going back to 1 stream a week. Literally just thank you. Okay, or I too. Or also with you. Yeah, force be with you. Thank you. Red Eyes Black Dragon for 5 says, play the Andy Dick Frog song or the Red Sun in the Sky for the outro. No, those are inappropriate. I've already played the Frog song. Thank you. Zero Nova Blossom for 20 says, happy pizza day, Josh. Enjoy it. This is a fucking anime character. I'm going to be pissed.
Take that pizza to go, bitch. Oh, you like a slice? Ain't nobody want a fucking slice.
A midget? Take that pizza to go beat, and then he... That's creepy. I didn't want to see that. Thank you. Boofer Scooper for 10 says, Sneed. CTE too. Thank you. Jess RCO for 4 says, you may have had the crab of the day, the invertebrate of the day, the frog of the day, and now the yokai of the day. Oh, I don't think I need the yokai of the day, bro. The Nebratori translated as the sleep fattening. Okay. It's a really fat guy drawn in a traditional Chinese, Japanese style. Are these tits? I'm going to assume that these are man tits. I hope you enjoy, chat. This is what an anime... This is like modern art. There's a guy being crushed by the fat man above him. Diet Insatiable. I'm not reading this. This is fucking weird. Thank you. Near KF for 1 says, did you know Ethan Klein is married? No, he didn't. Thank you. For the Ghost, NTC for 1 says, I thought about Lent this year and I tell you that I'm already perfect. Fucking Nick Fuentes. I live a very aesthetic lifestyle and I don't know what else I could reasonably give up besides caffeine, and I'm just not in the position where I can quit caffeine. I'm too busy, and it would just be painful and not productive, and so I'll do it at some other point. Okay. Judy Slicker for 10 says, how different do you think the world would be if ints were real? I imagine we wouldn't chop down so many trees. Oh, speaking of trees, I've been playing Last Epoch, which is like a Diablo style game. It's actually quite good. So if you were disappointed by Diablo 4 and you've already put 9 million hours into Path of Exile, or you just don't like Path of Exile too much, Last Epoch is actually pretty good. Holy Hal for 2 says, hope you're having a great day. Josh, you are my nibba always. Thank you, Holy Hal. I am having a good day. I'm very happy my stream made it to this point without crashing. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Patrick S. Helmson for 2 says, nah, bro, I wasn't digging on you. Was mocking LFJ's paper. The only systems you have are Linux and Windows. True. Those are my only choices. I reject multiple systems, aka dual booting. That shit's just a pain in the ass. Okay, I have my computer set up to dual boot. It still fucking sucks. Okay, it's still annoying. And Sneedo for 1 says, Sneed. Thank you very much, Sneedo. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you have a great day. I will see you guys on Tuesday. Yeah. What do I have for an outro? Oh, that's right. Corb Lund, one of my favorites, a Canadian country singer who's actually very good. 4 minutes. Okay, perfect. That's actually a perfect length song. See you guys on Tuesday. Bye-bye. Oh, there was an unexpected error because I don't have DRM installed and title won't play. Okay, I'll have to fix that. Okay, hold up. I'll just pull up on YouTube, which works. Okay, I think I'll do that. Bye-bye.
Dig, grave digger, dig. Work that shovel with digger, grave digger for rigor mortis sits in dig. Dig, dig, grave digger. Dig, grave digger, dig. That big old hole just keep getting bigger, so dig, grave digger, dig. Well, he don't mind the cadavers. He don't mind human remains. He got no no problem sleeping at night. Ain't nothing that a whiskey won't tame. I asked about ghosts and spirits. I asked him if he ever got spooked. I asked him if he ever got haunted by souls, but he reckons that he buries them too. Now he ain't bothered by corpses. He'll plant stiffs all day. See, he on some kind of piecework deal. He get paid by the grave. Dig, dig, grave digger. Dig, grave digger, dig. Work that shovel with vigor, grave digger, for rigor mortis sets in. Dig. Dig, dig, grave digger. Dig, grave digger, dig. That big old hole just keep getting bigger, so dig, grave digger, dig. Well, he could be making more money. He could be out working the rigs. But he says he don't really like no company. He says he'd rather just dig. Grave digger, he got secrets. He whispered as he lit up a cig. He said you gotta watch it, don't badger the hole when you're cutting through the roots and twigs. He works right through in the darkness, and then he stops and he takes him a swig. Drive by the right time of the night, you might spy him in the moonlight doing a jig. Dig, dig, grave digger. Dig, grave digger, dig. Work that shovel with bigger, grave digger, for rigor mortis sets in. Dig. Dig, dig, grave digger. Dig, grave digger, dig. That big old hole just keep getting bigger, 'cause grave digger rather just dig. Dig, dig, grave digger. Dig, grave digger, dig. That big old hole just keep getting bigger, so grave digger keep on digging. Dig, 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 grave digger. Dig, grave digger, dig. Work that shovel with big